I'm Joe Strada, owner of Strada Air Conditioning and Heating. For more than 30 years, I've been working hard to keep Florida homes cool and comfortable while providing 5-star customer service. Our friendly staff and expert technicians are committed to every customer's complete satisfaction. Get a free on-site quote in 10 minutes for a new AC system, convenient online scheduling for your AC maintenance or repair, and a $500 best price guarantee on any competitive quote. For 5-star customer service, you ought to call Strada.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Dirty Air Racing Experience. We're glad to have you with us for the RACECAR Engineering 285, where the racing is fast, the competition is fierce, and that's right, every point matters. We're continuing to work our way through this paid points series, and a huge thank you to tonight's race sponsor, RACECAR Engineering. Since 1998, it's shop, build, race. Do you race? It's performance parts built for dirt, drag, asphalt, and more. For nearly 3 decades and more, they've been helping racers get the parts and support they've needed to compete at the highest level. Appreciate you all joining in for Stam Studio Network's coverage of the Dirty Air Racing Experience. My name's Sean Stam, directing, producing, and commentating the show back here in Behind the Scenes. Now, some race information before we cut virtual trackside, see who qualified where. It's going to be a 2.5-mile Behemoth Super Speedway racing. Ambient temps at about 77 degrees Fahrenheit, but look at the track temps, 120. It's going to feel like surface of the sun at already working speeds 200 miles an hour, while we bring these NASCAR next-gen machines, Super Speedway Racing, and the Dirty Air Racing Experience. Also appreciate our sponsors and affiliates that would continue to be working their way up and through the top right side of the screen. And appreciate y'all there within YouTube land spending your Friday night with us here. So the drivers going to work through 27 lap stages, meaning every single lap will be just as important as the kind of one out there right before it. Also within those stage breaks, it will be a great look at kind of a glimpse into the future. I like to say that because it will give you a great look at who's got that kind of dancing partner, who's got the shaking, who's got the bacon that's getting ready to make their way up into the green and white checkers, and then into the checkered flag here in about 108 laps from now. Before we cut virtual trackside, we'll take a look at the point standings heading into this one. Only a couple more races remain here this season in the paid point season, and points still continue to be tight. It's Ethan George, Alan Smith, Brian Woodard, 1, 2, 3. Also Joshua Dunn, Dave Scott, and Donnie Beach running at the 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, no Dave Scott on the virtual racetrack as he is traveling. Safe travels out there to you, Dave. Patrick Craven, Cedric Hipkins, Ricky Miles, James Jepson running at the top 10. Ken Dunn is there, Carson Moore as well, David Moyer, as well as Stephen Gill, Martin Bailey, Jeremy James, and Cody Troyer. Just 1 week ago from Nashville, we saw John Miles on an amazing fuel strategy, an amazing fuel save, come away with the race win. Ethan George, P2, Dave Scott, P3. Take a look at our starting grid here tonight, brought to you by RACECAR Engineering. It's Alan Smith who will slap it on the pole. I believe he is in a Texas Pete paint scheme. That'll be a fast Toyota Camry to keep an eye on. James Smith, P2 in qualifying. But remember, these single car qualifying efforts, they're not going to have that pack that they were available out there to him within practice and within in the race. Cedric Hipkins, P3, the free agent, 0.02 of a second off. Nicholas Moody about tying that lap time there, P4. John Miles, that win 1 week ago at Nashville Super Speedway. It's called Super Speedway, but anything but. John Miles, he will start in P5. There's going to be on that right side of your screen, 69 fast chrome and blue S&M racing machine. It'll be Joshua Dunn, P7, David Moyer, Ethan George, Ricky Miles, Donnie Beach, and Stephen Gill, who round out our top 12. Continuing to work our way through this back, James Smith back in on the virtual racetrack out of S&M Racing. James, it's great to have you back here out racing at Talladega Super Speedway. Patrick Craven out of Full Blast Motorsports. Craven comes into this race 1 win on the season, sitting P7 in the standings. Can Craven make it happen? Carson Moore, P15. Brian Woodard, P16. Dave Scott, it says he qualified P17, but unfortunately not on the racetrack. We appreciate Lisa Miles working that out there all behind the scenes, making sure that the point standings will be A-okay after 108 laps of dueling out here in this Race Car Engineering 285. A quick race analysis for us. We'll have stage breaks at every 27 laps, leaving us at a final stage at about 27 laps as well. It'll be 50% fuel within the fuel tanks, so these drivers gonna have to make the decision on whether they're going to stop before that stage break caution. Most of them probably will, but it's what do you do under that caution? Probably no tires up there, and at least until the stage break, maybe even stage break number 2. Tires not meaning all that much here from Super Speedway Racing, but with ambient temps at 73 degrees Fahrenheit, track temps at about 116, I do believe that maybe we're going to start to see some tight or even loose conditions start to be in play out there. This Dirty Air Racing Experience Race Car Engineering 285. Once again, I appreciate you all out there joining in on Sam's Studio Network tonight. Appreciate the sponsors and affiliates up within the top right side of the screen. Alan Smith, our pole sitter, James Jepson, P2, Cedric Hipkins, P3, Nicholas Moody, John Miles, Joshua Dunn. That's the top 6. We'll then have Ken Dunn. That's something else to watch out here tonight. Keep an eye out on these Dunn boys, because they're going to be making that teamwork, making the dream work. Gotta have it up from Super Speedway Racing. Also have David Moyer, Ethan George, Donnie Beach, Ricky Miles, James Smith, Carson Moore, Stephen Gill, Patrick Craven, Brian Woodard, rounding out a 16-driver field. 108 laps of racing. We'll get throwing the green flag here. What a lap it was in qualifying for Alan Smith. He'll lead the pack across the stripe here in Talladega. Keep an eye on this speed, keep an eye on this momentum runs out here off of this gate, continuing to work our way on that throttle pedal up and here through the gearbox. It's all foot pedal through the floorboard out for that front row, but here in that second, third row, fourth row back, you're gonna have to start to lift. You can't drive through that rear end of the guy out there and in front of you. Lots of these Dirty Air Racing experienced drivers know that. They have been here, they have done that. Super Speedway Racing is lots of these guys, cups of teas. Speaking of cups of teas, hopping on board here with one of them, Ricky Miles, working that high line here early on. Cool, calm, collected. A long way to go, long time to get there. Ricky Miles showing us that he knows how to do what they say can't be done, and that's just survival. Survival of the fittest here from Super Speedway Racing. We're not going to have any cautions for incident until the last stage of the race. We can wad them all up here coming out of 2, knocking on my sim racing rig, but no contact for the race lead out there between James Jepson and Alan Smith. Contact on their side, they'll keep it moving. They will keep it moving. Alan Smith, there's that Texas beat Toyota Camry machine. He's going to now continue to look there just a little bit low and lose the race lead a little bit. Going to start to look 3 wide. Alan Smith back to the bottom. 3 wide for second, third, and fourth. And in behind him, working their way outside of 4, only completing lap 3. It looks like the last lap of the dang race. 3, almost looking 4 wide across this stripe. Remember, this stripe a lot deeper here within the trioval than it is at Daytona International Speedway. Drivers making their way across it there. Alan Smith backing out here where he started, backing out front. There's Cedric Hipkins, War Dog Racing Ford Mustang already looking low. Looking high though, that's gonna be that John Miles machine. John Miles with a huge head of steam out there with a huge push with the outside line of momentum. James Jepson is still there after what just was 3 wide for the race lead. Jepson, he's gonna still stay content up there, not leave that John Miles machine. David Moyer, number 47, Rod the Dente Chevrolet Camaro. He's already gained 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. 3rd car back on the outside row. Moyer, hey, that's one to watch. Something else to watch out here within these NASCAR next gens is you got to be careful within the pushes, careful within the shoves. Looks like that's going to be the David Moyer's machine. Bring Ricky Miles and the 39 of Carson Moore to the inside line. Got to be careful with these pushes as off of the going into the corner as well as hold through corner. Then you can really push. You can really shove out there on that back straightaway through the dog leg, though. That is another risk versus reward scenario there. Looks like Alan Smith, speaking of risk versus reward, he'll fall all the way back to about that P5 spot. David Moyer starts to get a little bit loosey-goosey, that 47 machine. Ricky Miles and I believe that was that 17 of Dunn out there up top. Now he had to check up there as well. Drivers still making their way up and here through it all. John Miles to the race lead, but not so fast, my friend, says James Jepson. James Jepson, he'll bring that number 1 with them, James Smith. How about James Smith? Where did he come from? Where did he go? Already up 11 spots gained. A little bit of jostling on that back straightaway there. Also look at that fed up number 99 Stephen Gill machine. Stephen Gill also 3 spots gained from where he started this race. We do have 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 fast repairs, but they can go. We have seen within Dirty Air Racing experience, especially these super speedways. I mean, next thing you know it here, you've worked your way here through 1, through 2, and then got especially as we're working up through the nitty gritty on that final stage. We've seen 3 and 4 go here pretty quick. And that's nothing to say about here the drivers. I mean, that's just to say that the intensity of the level of intensity of racing that we see out of this Dirty Air Racing experience, especially out of this super speedway racing. Once again, lots of these drivers kind of cups of teas here, if you will, and on it. But on board here with Ken Dunn now. Let's just listen on board here on this back straightaway. Feathering that throttle, a lot of lifting. That's a lot of fuel saving back there and about that mid of the pack. Ricky Miles looks like he was done running that low line. This is kind of interesting for Ricky Miles here right now because we've normally seen that number 5 Strata AC. Looks like, yeah, I think he's running that. No, he's back with Dirty Air Racing Experience Chevrolet Camaro. But we have seen that number 5. We have just kind of run it kind of in the back of the pack here within the opening stage of the race. But it looks like he's kind of opposite ear of it tonight. Ricky Miles going for some stage points, and already it's still 20 laps from now. But finding some dancing partners there earlier on. Ricky Miles get a little bit of help out there with John Miles after he led a few laps. Look at that outside line, continues for him here as well. Alan Smith back up here to P3, P4. Here comes Stephen Gill, fed up Toyota Camry, back around to that outside. That's a great paint scheme. I really do love that for Stephen Gill. If you're looking for any iRacing paint scheme designs you see up in the top right corner, you can hit up Stephen Gill's Creative Designs. Scan that QR code. Hit him up on Facebook as well. Something out there special for Stephen Gill. Got that Stam Studio Network Racing broadcast sticker. 5+ horsepower headed his way. Also Alan Smith, though, man, Alan Smith 00 machine ran the what was it, the Van Halen machine last week, Texas Pete this week. Oh, a big push through the corner there right behind Alan Smith, though. Stephen Gill getting a little bit wobbly wiggly with a huge push from that number 6 of Ethan George. Quick look at this race replay here. Look at how wobbly wiggly that number 19 rear end is going to get out there. Contact to the corner. That's a risky move out there. Excellent save for Stephen Gill. Live to see another day, live to see another lap. Backing out here within kind of the meat of the sandwich here, if you will. And I've continued to just kind of leave the car logos up on the left side of the screen because that's just how close these kind of battles are out here from Super Speedway Racing. Continuing to run out here all within the same pack are these 17 drivers. Starting to single file it out here just a little bit. Go ahead and crank it up for our first one of the race. I'll be right back up here with you in the booth. crank it back down. It's the miles and miles, boys, to the race lead. They can see for miles and miles. And so it seems now, though, John Miles starts to look out around the sideline there, looking just to get some air within that nose. Something, I mean, every sort of NASCAR that you bring super speedway racing, you're going to have that. Where you got to, if you continue to push, you continue to shove out there. Look at how close that John Miles continues to get out there on the rear bumper of Ricky. No correlation within the bloodlines there, just the name's the same, but you can continue to see that though, and that's where John Miles, he has to poke that nose out there just a slight bit, get some air within that engine, cool that engine down, get within to where the water is boiling out the radiator there. And man, John Miles, excellent super speedway racer, looking to go back to back in the Dirty Air Racing Experience after once again that amazing fuel strategy win that he got from Nashville just 1 week ago. So single file run, and these drivers just kind of looking to make it to the end of stage 1 so far. Where are the biggest movers within the race? It's up here within kind of that P7, P8 spot. How about, man, it's going to be Carson Moore. Carson Moore gained quite a few spots here since the drop of the green. Shown +7 there. There's Brian Woodard up. It is outside. Whoa, Brian Woodard getting a little squirrely up there up top. Woodard gaining +10 now, but it's all kind of just the ebbs and flows out here from super speedway racing. You're going to be up here flirting with disaster with the race lead, and then your next thing here, you know it, you're going to be right here within these battles back here from the meat of the sand, which we'll call it Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm, it looks like you're starting to brew for the race leads. Not these drivers not looking to take single file racing here, as I mean, that's kind of the different agendas as well, right? Some of them could be trying to save enough fuel to get to stage 1, because some of them could have already saved enough fuel to get down up there and do it. And it looks like a lot of them have that kind of green light now from their virtual crew chiefs out there in the virtual box. Ricky Miles still burning the most fuel out to the race lead, but clean air within the Dirty Air Racing Experience. It's gotta feel nice. Hopping on board James Smith. James Smith, another one of those big movers, gained 9. On board James Smith, and now Alan Smith. I don't believe any correlation there, just same name, but Alan Smith out here backing around to that P12 spot. Look at this run that Alan Smith is going to have, though. Does he do anything with it? Does he look around that outside line? No, patience is key. That 00 Toyota Camry machine down the Alabama gang back straightaway. He could have shot it around that outside line, but he would have had Cedric Hipkins and that War Dog Ford Mustang need to go with him, and that would have just started to kind of put a parachute down around that outside line with just no help. Speaking of outside line, or at least middle line, it's now led by that Ethan George, number 6 Build Submarines Ford Mustang. Got that 62, Brian Woodard right there with him. There's the 39. Believe that's going to be Carson Moore. And then that kind of rounds out that top line. Still Alan Smith and that 00 and Cedric Hipkins. Now Brian Woodard, he'll look top of 3. Talk about speed, talk about lost momentum. That's exactly how fast it'll happen out there. So 13 laps to go. When will we see this intensity start to form? It was a little bit, a lap maybe or 2 ago, but it's just, once again, these ebbs and flows of super speedway racing. It's a lot of fun to watch out there. If you've never been to a real life super speedway race, it is definitely one to have on the schedule, because just seeing this momentum shift at speeds about, it's just at 200 miles an hour. It's a lot of fun to watch, and man, definitely that Daytona region, that Playful Pint Sports Bar for the best burgers and drinks in town. Let them know we sent you out here on Stan Studio Network. Ricky Miles, the connection there. Appreciate Ricky Miles, Dave Scott, Lisa Miles. Shoot, each and every single one of them. John Miles, they're backing in behind the scenes, all making this Dirty Air Racing Experience happen. James Jepson is up there as well. The James and James show, 3rd and 4th. There's Ethan George leading in the point standings with his 1 win on the season. Keep an eye on that number 6 Ford Mustang. Brad Keselowski paint schemes. We know how good of a super speedway racer Mr. Brad K is. Well, is it the paint scheme or is it the driver? Hey, a little bit of both. Ethan George, we know, have a great racer that he is as well. Pair that with that number 6. Oh man, as he started a little low there, the number 60 of Nicholas Moody was there. That could have been big across the stripe. This kind of, yeah, you'll see that number 6 start to look low, and then that surge of speed at around that inside line, just kind of closing the door out there. This is going to get here back into live racing action, but man, that outside line, it continues to kind of fall apart out here. Here's a race replay coming out here through where is it? It starts to blend in out here. Yeah, this is the 3 and 4 of that Alabama game back straight away. Yeah, that outside line continuing to fizzle out, at least for that lap time. And then here back into live racing action. Wouldn't you know it, next thing you know it, Ricky Miles, he has company up top. Ethan George is there. Ethan George will bring his company out around that outside. 10 more laps to go till the end of stage 1. Ricky Miles loses the race lead, but it's not the end of the night out there for him. He's going to save a little bit more fuel out there. And how about it, the driver I just said to keep an eyeball on, Ethan George to the lead. Ethan George, our points leader within this paid point series. I believe it's only about 3 more races left to go, and we still have to rerun Texas back with kind of the difficulties that iRacing had thrown us there for that session. So, and I know that Ethan George, he is kind of, what can you do about it? But it kind of would have been, I believe, his kind of race win to have out there with them. Looks like he'll be one of those earlier drivers down headed into pit lane. He'll bring Ricky Miles. He'll bring the pack out there with him. Whoa, David Moyer, no, he'll go around the front nose of Ricky Miles. The Rocket Man, he'll get turned around heading into pit lane. And I had already seen on that front nose of David Moyer that he had some damage there heading down and into the pits. We'll have to see if there was any contacts there, but really quick battles out there and off of pit lane. Who will win them all? It's going to be just a quick splash and dash off race fuel, I would imagine here. No tires taken. There will be tires taken, at least for one of those Ford Mustangs. That might be Joshua Dunn already. Battles off of pit lane. James Smith, Ethan George, Nicholas Moody. There goes Patrick Craven and that number 12, Cedric Hipkins there that time. Looks like that was Joshua Dunn who did opt to take some tires, as is Stephen Gill. So here comes the next back and in pit lane. John Miles is there. James Jepson with a slight tire lock up there on that right front. He'll make it down and in pit lane just A-okay. At least I hope that the all-speeding police aren't after him there. Ken Dunn also in as well. We'll see these invisible pit crews go to work, but they're definitely doing action here on the cars, doing work on the cars. John Miles slides back and through his pit box. He has to hit neutral back and into reverse. Looks like Ken Dunn opts to take just a little bit more fuel out there with a slower pit stop. See if we can't cue up that race replay just real quick. It was David Moyer as he started to head down in pit lane. You'll see him. Yeah, he already has that front nose damage, so that wasn't it wasn't anything that he had gotten from heading down in pit lane. But he did have contact there with Ricky Miles. There you also see Stephen Gill. Stephen Gill heading in at Mach 2 down and into the pits. You'll see that fed up. I think I called him Toyota Camry earlier. That's a Ford Mustang left front lockup. There'll be a whole right front lock miss. Well, 4 wide heading into the pits. Ricky Miles, he is just nothing but an innocent bystander as we hop on board here with Ricky Miles this time. Oh, there's nowhere to go out there for him, but luckily for these drivers, we'll have that stage break out here in just a couple laps, about 7 laps time. Back out here to the race lead, it'll be James Smith, Ethan George, James Jepson. That's the 1, 2, 3. Looks like everybody has already made their pit stop, so it's now kind of looking to be cycled out this time and around by. You see that front lead pack, James Smith, Ethan George, James Jepson. It looks like, yeah, there you have Carson Moore and John Miles there within that pack. John Miles up there, even after sliding through his pit box, he still had an excellent time down there and on pit lane. It could have been a whole lot worse up there for him. He could have lost all of that time that he would have gained out there on him and fallen back here into about that next pack back, which is 7 seconds back. That 7 seconds backpack belongs to, say that one 3 times fast. 7 seconds backpack belongs to Donnie Beach, Ken Dunn, and Nicholas Mooney. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th. 5 seconds back from this pack is going to be Patrick Craven, Cedric Hipkins. There's Brian Bedard, Joshua Dunn in this pack as well. Stephen Gill after contacts out there heading down on the pit lane, and Ricky Miles and David Moyer. They are all within their kind of own pack now. 13th, 14th, and 15th after spending a little bit. It was the extra time that was spent out there with the contact there and in pit lane. Go through the pack reset, brought to you by RACECAR Engineering for our RACECAR Engineering 285. Right now, RACECAR Engineering has a special free shipping on orders over $199. Performance part for dirt, drag, asphalt, and more. Back out here and up to 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's James Smith. James Smith. It's once again, I said this kind of within our pre-race talks, but it's very nice to see that number 1 out here back within this virtual sim racing world. S&M iRacing. I know that James Smith, I don't believe, has been able to make every single race down here with us. So Ethan George, kind of opposite of the sandwich there, yins and yangs here of Dirty Air Racing Experience. The driver who leads us within the point standings. 1 win. It was maybe going to be 2 in the season from Texas, but we will run it back. Ethan George looking to run that back as well. James Jepson, he had shown some very nice speed as well as pace within our practice session. I know that it's kind of all within the draft is how you kind of make the laps out here happen, but what I mean out there for that number 13 though is he just can hold a very steady line. He's a really good pusher, real good taker to the pushes as well. James Jepson rounding out the top 3. There's Carson Moore, and man, I would call it maybe the most vibrant paint scheme of the race here tonight. One of those Ryan Blaney Ford Mustang looking paint schemes. Carson Moore up 11 spots since the drop of the green. John Miles right back into where he started this race in that P5 out of Bandon, Oregon. Continuing to work our way through this stage, or closer to this stage break, 3 laps into it till this time by Donnie Beach out of Clearwater, Florida, leading the second pack. There's Ken Dunn, second pack, but not a lot of cars in it. It's going to be tough to close that gap, but at least we do have that stage break, that stage caution here in about 3 laps time. Ken Dunn, nice start to the race out there for him, but as he tries to regroup and rearm with his teammate Joshua Dunn out there as well. Joshua Dunn running in that P11 spot. Speaking of that P11 spot, that would be this next pack back. Cedric Hipkins, Brian Bedard, Joshua Dunn, and there's Patrick Craven kind of tagging along with it as well. Patrick Craven, he's also rocking that 1 win on the season. The Clemson Tiger Chevrolet Camaro. Ooh, boy, whether you are a fan of those Tigers or not, I got some memories out there with them from a few national championship games a couple of years ago. But anyways, back out here to some Dirty Air Racing Experience. Only 2 laps to go here within this stage, and here comes that crystal ball. Here comes this glimpse within the future. Look at James Jepson. He just rocketed that Ethan George backing out up front around James Smith. What a push, what a shove that was. Here we'll go heading into turns 3 and 4 for the second and final time before stage number 1. Look at James Jepson. It's a game of inches. It's a game of centimeters apart. Leaves the teammates. Contact for the race lead. Jepson, he'll lose all the speed momentum that he would have had. Here comes that number 1 of James Smith. Out and out up top. To the stripe we go. The stage break will be a round coming to this time or next time by. Who's it going to be? The James and James show out and up front. The 39 is there as well. You could tell by the way that intensity started to form that, I mean, that stage break was definitely that time by. I mean, they started to send it 3 wide there within turns 3 and 4, I believe that was, and it was ultimately, I believe, James Jepson as our stage 1 winner. We'll have to see if they do give that back to, yeah, it should be that driver at number 13. Quick race replay of it there. Goodness gracious. That was wild. They're heading out there within 3 wide, beaten, banging out there off of each other. I believe that was 1 and 2, excuse me, there. But out there, James just sticking it down there and into the apron, keeping and with a huge shove off of that front nose of that Carson Moore machine, continuing to look side by side. It was 3 and 4, and here we go to the stripe. How close was it? Alan Smith out and around that outside line with a huge shove from John Miles. Oh, it's just about a half, maybe even, half car length separated our P1, P2, P3. Looks like they'll give it to Carson Moore, and then John Miles, P4, P4. All right, we're going to get them re-racked. We're going to get them restacked. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. It's Sean Stam, directing, producing, commentating the show. We're going to take a quick break from one of our sponsors and affiliates. We'll be right back here with you. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Joe Strada, owner of Strada Air Conditioning and Heating. For more than 30 years, I've been working hard to keep Florida homes cool and comfortable while providing 5-star customer service. Our friendly staff and expert technicians are committed to every customer's complete satisfaction. Get a free on-site quote in 10 minutes for a new AC system, convenient online scheduling for your AC maintenance or repair, and a $500 best price guarantee on any competitive quote. For 5-star customer service, you ought to call Strada.
Welcome back into the Race Car Engineering 285, live on Stam Studio Network. You've tuned into the Dirty Air Racing Experience, NASCAR Next Gens, live here at the Dega. Appreciate our sponsors and affiliates, Strada Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric Security, Plumbing, and more. The Playful Pint Sports Bar for the best burgers and drinks in town. Gill's Creative Designs for the best paint schemes around town. Check him out there on Facebook land. Scan the QR code or hit up Stephen Gill. Shockers Graphics for some more paint scheme designs headed your way. S&M iRacing, appreciate those boys, everything they do out there for the S&M iRacing League for back in the behind the scenes. And of course, the Dirty Air Racing Experience. Ricky Miles, Lisa Miles, Dave Scott, all of you make it happen. Making it happen does not go unnoticed. All right, so let us know who you got maybe winning this race here tonight within live YouTube chats in YouTube land as Ethan George looks to cycle back out to the race lead after the stage break. Quick look at the stage, this is quick look at the unupdated points that were kind of shown out there, that were shown before the drop of the green flag. Ethan George in the lead of the points, Alan Smith, Brian Woodard, Joshua Dunn, Dave Scott, Donnie Beach, Patrick Craven, also Cedric Hipkins, Ricky Miles, and James Jepson rounding out the top 10 within our paid points series. See the pack working their way through turns 3 and 4. Looks like lights are still on. It's hard to see. Yeah, lights are still on that iRacing safety pace truck. So let's see who we still have up there. It's Ethan George, who's kind of been up there, been here, done that, but super speedway racing, that's what's fun to watch. The driver with 2,800 oval I rating. It's kind of like no matter what track you'll bring it out there to him, Ethan George, been there, done that, has the speed, has the pace. Visually shown as Alan Smith right now is our race leader, but he'll get that wave around, as you'll see, is working his way around that iRacing safety pace truck. Alrighty, well, if you don't have anybody that you're necessarily rooting on, make sure you let us know who maybe your paint scheme of the race is. We'll see him here. Oh man, that's a little bit too quick for me. But maybe paint scheme of the race can find their way into virtual victory lane. Ethan George out there up front, that Build Submarines, Brad Keselowski machine. Donnie Beach, really kind of first, second, third, or first, twice, thrice name time that we've mentioned his name here tonight. SMT iRacing. How fair is that to the field that Donnie Beach, he is a carbon fiber? I guess they're all kind of carbon fiber, aren't they? There's wraps. All right, well, back and into here to John Miles. John Miles within P3, and also that is a bad to the bone paint scheme out there for Donnie Beach. John Miles, P4. There's P3, James Jensen, then that Army Strong Ford Mustang, and then that next row back, there's War Dog Racing, Moza Racing Ford Mustang. A little bit of red, black, and white there on it. Most colorful one out there of the night, or at least running nose to tail from another, it will be that Carson Moore number 39. Nicholas Moody in the number 60 Chevrolet Camaro. It looks like he's still celebrating America's 250th birthday. See him front and center of the screen there. There's Ken Dunn starting around that outside line. He'll be P8 this time on this restart. Stephen Gill, there's that Gill's Creative Designs, fed up a Ford Mustang machine. And around to his outside, Patrick Crave, Clemson Tigers getting ready to go. All right, so let's see if we'll get some green flag racing. Yep, it looks like we will re-rack them, re-stack them. Get going green flag this time. Once again, appreciate you all out there joining in with us as Ethan George looks to solidify and keep this race lead out there within his hands. But it really wasn't out there for it didn't last that long. Looking back there within stage one. Even for Alan Smith, and Alan Smith unfortunately shown in virtual pit lane right now, as is Ricky Miles and Brian Woodard. Yeah, I was going to say there's no way that they're going to get throwing green flag racing. It looks, yeah, they're going to allow these drivers to come down and take their service, whatever service that was needed for both for all Ricky Miles, Brian Woodard, and Alan Smith. But looks like maybe they were getting their wave around, and now that they need fuel, right? It wouldn't be fair to not give it to them. So. Looks like they're going to allow those drivers to pit. Yep, there's a quick splash out there for Brian Woodard. There's that Dirty Air Racing Experience, Suck Our Air Chevrolet Camaro. A quick bit of service up there in as well. Remember, these are 50% fuel tanks that we're running, and I mean, obviously here within the season, it makes to some great stage finishes that it has been, and also some stage strategy calls. It's a little bit less out there within tires, not necessarily meaning as much from super speedway racing, but it's been a lot of fun here to watch this season. It's been a whole lot of fun here to be a part of bringing you the action. We'll see what Donnie Beach here has for him. Anything, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. Back around that outside, looks like they'll allow that Ricky Miles machine. Oh, excuse me, I thought that was him working his way around the pack. We're still getting just a couple lucky dogs out here, so stick with us. Should be even green flag racing here just this time by. Making sure you got yourself a drink, got yourself a snack. You got a quick, about 30 seconds out here through a minute to re-up on that drink if you need it. Should be going green flag racing this time by. Quick race recap if you're just now joining in. Before we get going green flag racing, it's been the Ethan George show out and up front after leading quite a few laps. We're on lap 31 out of 108. Still have quite a few more stages to go at lap every 27 laps. We've had one caution for 4 laps out there, and it's only cautions for the stages until the final caution, and so then we will finally have them for incidents. 8 different lead changes. It's all kind of evens out there within the stages. Stage 1 already set down and in the concrete. Stage 2 and out there up and on our hands, and setting up that final stage, 27 laps. Back in green flag racing. Let's get going. Let's get see who has it out here through this pack. As that number 6, Ethan George, looks to continue to lead, looks to continue to kind of keep the pack within his hands. Working our way backing up here through the gears, here through turns 1, here through turns 2. Who has the momentum difference? Right now it's that inside line. They're a little bit more linked up. As soon as I say that though, here comes that outside line. Carson Moore, he has a shot on that rear bumper of that 69 of John Miles. That'll rocket that outside up tier to at least third to maybe second row back, but here that momentum, it just stalls. Yeah, well, as soon as I say it stalls, they'll keep kind of creeping their way up and around that outside. How about you? Well, talk about, I thought that outside line was done out there with them, but no, and that all started out there back around that Alabama gang back straight away within kind of Carson Moore. He was no lift on that rear bumper of John Miles. John Miles, that was all over the rear bumper of Donnie Beach, but now backing out here to lap number 1 to stage 2, or really lap 6, timing and scorings. Well, that's now going to show John Miles after little slicing, little dicing. John Miles out back around the outside line to the race lead last time by. He'll continue to take a shot from Carson Moore. I think I called one or two drivers earlier a great pusher. Carson Moore, another driver we're going to have to keep an eye on, is great of a pusher, as flat of a front nose that is on that Ford Mustang. Making their way downtown, running fast, whatever the lyrics are. It's continuing to run side by side for, I mean, just about here throughout this whole pack until about to the top 5, 6, and 7. Then about the last 3 cars within the pack, still running single file. You know, I also don't hate that as well out there for drivers who just kind of keeping it cool, calm, and collected, backing around, just keeping it. There's no point to waste one of those 4 faster pairs. I know that's a lot down there of them, but it's just keeping it cool. You see Alan Smith kind of far right side, also out there with Joshua Dunn, Ken Dunn. They're just all biding their time. There's no point right now to try to push your way up here to the front with as much kind of slicing, dicing, and as well as kind of back and forth yins and yangs of super speedway racing that we have seen, especially here tonight. It's been a great race so far. It's now Stephen Gill. He's going to look down, dip down, almost one of the 5 Ds of dodgeball. He'll make them all happen. Stephen Gill to the race lead. Looking up the back bumper of Stephen Gill here. Oh man, you're going to see that Carson Moore that he has to lift up there just a little bit. But Carson Moore can't lift that much because out there right back in behind Carson, there's the number 11 of Donnie Beach. There behind Donnie Beach is the number 6 of Ethan George. Interesting to see for Ethan George is the same exact thing that we saw from Alan Smith in stage 1. That kind of the race leader falls back into about that 3rd, 4th, 5th row back. Whether that's planned or not, he is burning less fuel, kind of setting himself up for a better finish, I do believe, is that number 6 Ethan George machine falls back to about that 4th car back of the inside line. John Miles, as we saw on lap 1 of the race, he'll make his way back and out up front, and he'll bring that number 60, Nicholas Moody. Nicholas Moody is another one of those Chevrolet Camaros who we really haven't talked too much about. He had also a lot of speed and pace in practice. That number 60, he's holding. Look at how steady that line is, even with getting kind of an aerodynamic push, a huge push. I'm not even going to say kind of, a big shot out there out of Ricky Miles and Rocket Man number 5. Great pusher, going to a great receiver there. That's an excellent combo to find virtual victory lane. Nicholas Moody up there back around the outside line as here comes Craven out of nowhere. Last time I thought that we saw that number 20 Clemson Chevrolet Camaro. I thought that he was backing around kind of that 3rd, 4th, if not 5th row back. Here he comes side by side, door to door for the race lead. Hey, it's still a long ways to go, long time to get there. Who's going to do what they say can't be done? John Miles, he can see for miles and miles. John Miles backing around the outside. Not going to give up on around that outside a lead here just yet, but there's really not much you can do except just hold that wheel tight and white knuckle that baby out of the exit. Try not to get spun up there after that huge shove out of Nicholas Moody, though. Nicholas Moody doing what he has to do, pushing, shoving here for the race lead. Here comes Ricky Miles backing around here. Oh, a little bit of contact on the right rear panel. Not quite right rear panel, but right rear bumper. That could have been huge for Ricky. He had to get out of the gas. Now we're starting to look 3 wide here for about 5th, 6th, 7th on back. It's so interesting to see. It's been a lot of what we have seen from stage number 1. I'm talking about and even Ethan George falling back here to now about P11, P12, exactly what we saw from Alan Smith. And also what we saw, it kind of calmed down there for about a lap or 2, and then it started to heat up for about 2, 3, 4. Now I think we're in that within kind of that stage window here, almost halfway down, halfway to go within stage number 2, and it's still some side-by-side battles. The intensity, the storm that continues to that continues to brew. Backing out here behind the wheel. I know that kind of the NASCAR kind of the thought of it is it's just flat out racing. It's just turning left. It's just making your car turn right here when you need it. But no, it's a lot of lifting. It's a lot of chest at 200 miles an hour. Not only are you lifting, you're trying to turn in a little bit earlier here, turn in a little bit later there, but you're working these top two. You're working these top three lines. It looks like Ethan George that may have been actually a calculated move to fall back earlier on, because look at him. Here you'll see that rocket ship backing around the outside line. Ethan George, point standings lead in his hands. He knows that right now it's kind of, at least I guess it's go time within the stage for him. Ethan George from about 4 rows back. He'll look down around the outside line. Inside is Carson Moore, meat of the sandwich. And bottom is Ricky Miles. Ricky Miles holding it as steadily as he can, backing around that double yellow apron line. Remember, you cannot make a pass underneath that double yellow. You can go down there, but you just cannot advance your position. Whoa, no, John Miles, he'll get tagged out and around. This will be the 39 of Carson Moore, who goes deep down around the inside. Huge wreck out there going into one. Quick race replay here, but remember, we're going to keep this underneath green flag conditions until our next stage break. Here goes the contact. Oh, it was a lot of net going across the stripe. There goes Carson Moore around, and here goes, man, Ricky Miles. He just gets shot up then out there. And I say net code because, I mean, it looks like Ricky Miles, he had, I mean, some pretty, he had kind of phased through, I mean, that whole machine out there. Excuse me, not Ricky, that was John Miles out there. There you see him kind of phase through that Ford Mustang, phase through even Ricky Miles there. Sometimes netcode giveth, some at times netcode will taketh. There's going to be an issue kind of I guess, taketh. One more look here at it as you see these kind of lines, you see these runs here start to form. There's contact out there within Carson and Ricky, and it looks like right there, kind of the right rear. John Miles, yeah, I don't think he comes up any. It's just contact. It's just a racing incident out there. He'll get tagged. Excellent job, excellent evasive action for the field. Holy cow, looking out there for Joshua Dunn as well. We got to hop on board here with Joshua Dunn and see what he sees out there through this one. Look at him. Joshua Dunn misses it, and then here's Steven Dunn coming down here to about, what was that, maybe 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, slamming on the brakes, coming to a, I mean, just, I don't know how the 17 missed that one. Amazing move for Ken Dunn. Look at him, right up there and up front of him. Where to go? Right, left, back, and up center. Well, right, left, back, and up center will go back to the race lead. Ethan George, Cedric Hipkins, War Dog Ford Mustang, and James Jepson rounding out the top three. Now starting to look side by side and door to door for P3 and 4. There's P4, Brian Woodard. Brian Woodard, he has been a fun driver here to watch tonight. He has been there. He has done that. He has looked low. He has looked middle. He has looked up top. He has also been around there, backing around the middle of the pack, backing around kind of bottom of the pack, and now up in here with the leaders. Brian Woodard, there's Nicholas Moody, Ricky Miles going to start to look side by side here heading into one. So I will add, it does say 12 to go up there within our stage break timer, but I'm just going to add it's at or around that margin, because something that I've found out there within the Dirty Air Racing experience is I don't think that they count the caution laps for the stage. So we'll up this here to about 14 laps to go, but just remember, or just know that is just the rough margin. It's going to be out there within the 1, 2 to 3 of it, though. And I'll make sure that it is good to go between our final stage of the race. Still out there up here within the race lead, though, Ethan George has made his way back and up and into it as if it was nothing, as if nothing ever happened. How many laps now led is it for that number 6 Ford Mustang? I believe it is well within the double digits. It's about to be next time by. Ethan George, 9 out there on the race. Shane Jepson, he's going to have a look up top. Nicholas Moody looking down low. Whoa, Ricky Miles is loose out of 4. Really quick, let's see what happens to Ricky Miles out there on the exit. Oh man, yeah, I think he just nothing egregious there. I think it just, Let's hop on board real quick. I wonder if he's starting to just feel some tire wear here just a little bit. And you know, it kind of, with the way that he floated up that corner and he stung it like a bee on corner exit, floated like the butterfly, stung it like a bee on corner exit, whatever it was for Ricky. Remember, we're working the weather. It is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temp. Well, now 70, so it is continuing to drop, but the track temps are still ranging around the surface of the sun, at least what it feels like rolling around this Goodyear racing tire model, or the Super Speedway racing tire model in this NASCAR Next Gen. So it's still, it's going to be an interesting call on tires versus no tires within our Stage 2 break here in about, or around, 12 laps to go. Before we get to that 12 laps to go margin, now you can go ahead and take the sights and sounds here again of Stage 2. So I'll be back here right here with you before our fuel stops here happen. Can crank it back down. Sean Stam up here with you, producing, directing, and commentating this show. And as if it was on the money, here comes James Jepson and the whole pack. Whoa, it'll be another lockup for Stephen Gill, slight lockup for Jepson, but Nicholas Moody with heavy braking, with excellent braking, he'll lead the pack down within pit lane, surpassing Ethan George. It's going to be also the 5 of Ricky Miles is in. There's the number 12. There's the Patrick Craven machine. Stephen Gill, also Joshua Dunn is in. Let's see what these strategy calls look like out here. It should be a lot of no tires, then maybe a lot tires out here within our next stage break. Yeah, that is exactly what the doctor ordered here for the pack. Brian Bedard wins the race off pit lane. There's James Jepson. There's Ricky Miles making his way through this pack. These drivers know that right now it's go time because this next pack should be heading their way back in here in. Alan Smith, he's got Donnie Beach with him. Brian Bedard is kind of leading the next, kind of the lead lap, pack. Let's see, yeah, Alan Smith and Donnie Beach making their way in. Alan Smith, he has been very quiet on the radio here at this stage of the race. He's been happy with the way that Toyota Camry has been handling, but he's also just been missing out on the pack. He'll get that pack re-racked and restacked at about 9 laps time before that stage break. Also, Donnie Beach, kind of same story there, very quiet on the radio here. He'll slide past his pit box. He'll have to hit neutral and backing into reverse, leading 2 laps out there within stage 1 and stage 2. Splash, dash through that fuel tank goes. Backing up here through the work in the gearbox as well. Trying to catch up here with Ethan George, Brian Bedard, James Jepson. Here's Ricky Miles. Alan Smith, though, not able to kind of, well, he did an amazing pit job right there, as did Donnie Beach, but just that's how fast, that's how kind of already up to pack that this lead pack is. So that leaves Ethan George, Brian Woodard, James Jepson, Ricky Miles, Cedric Hipkins, as well as Patrick Craven as well. I actually might have to take that back. It looks like that they were just in pit lane. Yeah, so everybody should be green. It should be good to go out here within the end of the stage break. And now that with this cycling back out here up to Ethan George, that's definitely double digits within his laps led. Here comes the gap 2 pack number 2. Stephen Gill in that second pack. There's Cedric Kipkins. There's Patrick Craven and Ricky Miles. Also still just keeping it, just hanging out there with it. Doing exactly what you have to do out here from Super Speedway Racing. It's be there at the end. Ricky Miles knows how to do that pretty damn well. Up there sitting, I believe it is, let's see. I believe it's sitting right there well within the, yeah, it's 9th within the point standings. Continuing to crest our way out here through the rest of this paid point season. Ricky Miles, he is there. He's going to start to look around to the outside for Patrick Craven, or was it just a big old wobble for Ricky Miles going there within turn 3? So it's coming to around that 6th lap to go margin. Still Ethan George, Brian Woodard, and James Jepson going duking out here for the lead out and up front. And you can start to see with the way that this intensity is starting to form up, it's more looking like less than 6 than more than 6. Whoa, holy, hang on to it, Stephen Gill. Whoa, that could have been a big one out there going within 2. Look at the pushes within this corner. Cedric Hipkins, a little bit too much of a push there. Stephen Gill, though, cat-like reflexes. Wow, what a save for Stephen. Look at that. It's just pushing through the corner. You can't fault Cedric Hipkins, though. He's just trying to close that gap out there, trying to help this pack close the gap and out to him out there up front. Really quick hopping on board here with Stephen Gill. Oh, if I can find it. Here it is. Look at the, steering wheel all the way to the right, 90 degrees. Excellent job out there to hang on to that, that number 99 machine. Here comes Ricky Miles. Here comes John Miles. Miles and Miles starting to form up top. They'll bring Craven out there with them. Inside line still belongs to that number 1. I've been calling him number 1, but I believe that is the, yeah, it is number 1. James Smith is just fighting for his right to party, not looking to go down 1 lap, but he's going to go down a lap right now as Ricky Miles takes over the race lead, bringing that John Miles machine with him out there and up top. Careful with how far that you get up here and in front of this pack here, because this is going to be like a slingshot. It's going to work here right back on you. Patrick Craven, he has an opportunity right here. Excuse me. James Smith has an opportunity. He did if he had that pack up there backing around there with him, but still with this front pack of James, Ricky Miles and John Miles up front, it's still, that is a huge gap out there in front of the 3rd, 4th, and back. I wonder if Nicholas Moody, there you see Nicholas Moody out and around up top, looks like he got maybe a speeding penalty. We saw that that was a great kind of job to make his way down on the pit lane last time by, but it may have been just a tiny bit too fast. John Miles with a slide out there, coming out some turn at number 4. Ethan George out there, he also has to slow down there just quite a bit. Well, that'll round out our stage 2 at the stripe, and we continue to see that thing start to form up there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Well, it'll come down as here turns 3 and turns 4. Here's going to be Ricky Miles, John Miles. Here comes also as well James Jepson. He's going to be down there as well. And I'll make sure to do the math right here, and I'll make sure to, yeah, there's that slide out of John Miles coming to the stripe. This will be for our stage 2 breakout here. Ricky Miles looks like they'll give it to him. James Jepson P3, Craven P4 around the outside, and Brian Woodard. Congratulations, Ricky Miles is going to be our stage 2 winner. Golly, that Dirty Air Racing Experience Strada Chevrolet Camaro looks mad to the bone. I know that Ricky Miles takes some super speedo racing out there pretty dang well. Let's see if we can't dial him up here real quick. Hey, Ricky Miles, stage 2 winner. You got yourself a copy. It's Sean up here in the booth.
Yes, sir, buddy. How you doing?
I'll be honest with you, Ricky. I'm sweating up here watching you all put on the show. More importantly, though, how are you doing? How's that car feeling?
Really good, man. Other than old banged up left shoulder, but other than that, trying to give it all I got.
Yeah, you got the banged up shoulder, and you're turning the. God, hey, if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't have been able to tell, man. You keeping the lines steady as all heck out there, Ricky. You keep it up, man. It's looking good. What's your kind of strategy going out here in the final few stages?
Yeah, just stay clean, man. I kind of got messed up, going in for the pit stops. There was 3 or 4 cars got in there, and I was a victim of that, but came out further back than I wanted to be, but ended up made up for it on the second stage.
Well done out there, Ricky. We'll let you get here back into to focusing up on this next pit stop. What you think? In tires, no tires?
Well, I can't give out my secrets, you know what I mean?
Hey, you've been media trained. I like to see it out here, Ricky. All serious though, best of luck here for you the rest of the night, man.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
He sounds like those the crew chiefs that NBC and Fox tries to interview and try to get their kind of show of hands, see what they're gonna do. But looks like it will be. Let's see, Ethan. Well, let's see if we can't. Looks like they still got to cycle things back here and around on this stage break. So I got to do some cycling out here around myself as far as a little bit of, let's see, race recap goes. We are on lap 56. So 56 plus 27. Our next stage break will be around. And see, that's where I think that the timing and scorings maybe gets a little bit messed up, because I wonder if that they're not, I believe that they're not going to count the caution flags into the next stage, or maybe they are. So that's, I think, where that's coming from. So we'll just go 55 plus 27, and that'll give us our stage 3 at lap number, or around 82. And here, being within this 108 lap race for the RACECAR Engineering 285, that will also kind of let's see, yeah, that'll definitely open up this kind of final. Let's see, will this be the 87? Yeah, this will kind of be our final stage break until the final run for the money. Speaking of the money, I believe it will be a $20 or $25 comically large check headed to each one of the whoever makes their way into virtual victory lane throughout this whole paid points series. Well, each and every Friday night, virtual victory lane. Ricky Miles, he has a great opportunity to do it tonight. Ethan George, P2. Alan Smith, P3. Cedric Hipkins. Brian Woodard. James Jepson. Patrick Craven. Donnie Beach. Stephen Gill. Carson Moore, the top 10. Here comes Joshua Dunn. Here comes James Smith, Ken Dunn, John Miles, Nicholas Moody, David Moyer, and Dave Scott as well. Let's take another look on that. Who was it? It was number 60. Oh, yes, Nicholas Moody heading down and into pit lane, and I thought that he would just made an amazing pit stop there within pit entry. But yeah, that thing, we're gonna have to get the speeding police out there on him. That was maybe just a little bit too fast there. And then here comes 3 and 4 wide up there from back in behind this battle going into pit lane. This is not what Ricky Miles was referring to. Ricky was referring to where he kind of got involved, and I believe that was this time headed in pit lane. Hopefully I'm not wrong here. No, yeah, okay, so it was that stage 1 break, but that was still just a great look at that race replay. That things will get pretty tight there, pretty quick out there on and off of pit exit. All right, our second caution for our stage 2 break. Congratulations, Ricky Miles. Looks like he'll take away that stage 2 win. It'll be only Ricky Miles who heads down pit lane here right now. Joshua Dunn is in as well. James Smith follows suit, so does Ken Dunn. Ricky Miles going to give that spot out there to at least James Smith. So there's this, I don't think he'd want any contact here heading down in the pit lane. It's supposed to kind of phase you through the cars, backing around kind of the end, that the actual kind of pit lane that they're in right now, as well as maybe a lane or two above it. Sometimes it doesn't do that. iRacing doesn't do that, and well, looks like there's just a little bit of caution given to the wind. John Miles, he's going to exit right there, right beside his drafting buddy Ricky Miles. Joshua Dunn exits pit lane in that 14th position in the Come Seek the Royal Caribbean, number 91 Ford Mustang. All right, we are re-racked. We are restacked side by side on that Alabama gang back straightaway. Ethan George, Alan Smith. This is very interesting, this front row right here, because this is kind of who started on the front row of the race with Alan Smith in the 00, and then Ethan George, who started on the front row of stage number 2, I believe that was. And it was the same exact thing that we saw from both of these drivers. They had both fallen to about that 5th or 6th throw back, and at first I didn't quite think that it may have been all that planned, but as we continue to run within this 50% fuel tank, I am starting to think that that was maybe a little bit more planned than what I originally did think it was. You burn a whole hell of a lot more fuel leading laps, kind of breaking the hole into the air. Got to remember, 200 miles an hour with aerodynamically considered brick NASCAR next-gen machines. You got to imagine that. Well, you don't only have to imagine it, it is proved that that will make or break that fuel run, that fuel mileage out there, especially as we start to run out there within our final few laps, final stage, I do believe now. Ethan George out and up front. It's Alan Smith, Cedric Hipkins, row 2, Brian Bedard, Patrick Craven, row 3, James Jepson, Stephen Gill, Donnie Beach, Ken Dunn, James Smith, who ran out the top 10. Back it up and through the gearbox we go. Take a look and watch how the kind of momentum runs, the momentum shifts out here, not only into the entrance, not only mid-corner, but as well as corner exit. Should see a huge run out up top as that outside line is continuing to prevail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now 7 cars out around outside. Here comes Ricky Miles, gives Stephen Gill a huge push, backing around the out of that throttle pedal, now looking 3 wide, right side of your screen, backing out here to about middle as the front 3 start to kind of single file it out there on with them. There's exactly what I mentioned. There you're going to start to see that Ethan George machine, he'll fall back to about P3, P4, that third row and on back. Backing around the outside line though, Ethan George, he'll shoot around out up top. Oh, this is going to be good here, coming within the final stage of the race. And I do believe, well, we'll shorten it 1, so it should be lap 81 out of our 108 of our race car engineering 285. Continuing to see these different runs, different strategy calls, different etc. here start to form. And once again, continues to be chested upwards of 200 miles an hour, hopping on board with our virtual driver iCamera shot. This one's going to be Patrick Craven as he starts to look low. Once again, all you think on TV sometimes, if you have it here back bending behind the wheel, it's just flat out, oh, it's just turning left, oh, you're just doing this, you're just doing that. No, it's a lot more than that. Let's hop on board here a whole lap here with Patrick Craven. Watch his hands continue to go to work. Listen into those throttle and a little bit of brake taps as well. A huge lift into the corner, but still as much hole as big of a hole that the air that the NASCAR Next Gen pokes here within the air. It's you definitely got, they're going to have that huge run within the slipstream, that huge run here within the draft. again, now they're back kind of within the pushing conversation, though. You can push like a bat out of Hades here if you needed to on that back straightaway, but it's within the corners. We've already seen it a couple of times tonight out here where if you pushed up there a little bit too much here within corner entrance or corner apex, next thing here, before you know it, the driver up in front of you, it's like their rear tires, and kind of sometimes it is, their rear tires lifted kind of up and off of the racetrack. Seriously though, you have to be so careful within the pushes, with the shoves here within the corner. Not only can it kind of end your night, but it also can end the night up there and a driver up and in front of you. It looked like the 91 Joshua Dunn, he just got passed up there around Carson Moore and Stephen Gill. That one, I think I saw it there at the right side of the camera shot. That one could have been a big one. Yeah, look at that number 91. Oh my goodness. We got to hop on board with the virtual, with this live driver eye camera shot up there for Joshua Dunn. Look at his hands that are going to go to work. And this is exactly a product of what I was just mentioning. Okay, that's steady now. Hang on, let's see if I can't. All right, well, we saw the huge step inside up there for Joshua Dunn. Yeah, there it is, the hands. Oh, sawing on the wheel, keeping that thing alive, keeping this whole pack alive out there as we continue to work our way. Stage 3, lap 8 of, let's see, up and until lap 81 of it, so here. So I'm going to save us out there some headache of it. All right, so we got about out here 20 more laps here to go here within this stage. What a race it's been so far. Only 22 different lead changes. That'll add to the list right there as Ethan George rockets his way back and out and up to it. James Smith, after going down a lap just dang near, looks like he'll get it back last stage. They're going to go back for the race lead out here is that James Smith machine. So on lap 81 or around it will be our final stage break of the night. Just keep that in mind out there on the top left side of the screen. We continue to work our way and into the Bargy, continuing to work our way into 3 wide. There's going to be I believe that's going to be Dunn, who looked down the middle out there. Yeah, that's Ken Dunn. Ken Dunn, things will settle back and around until Ken is done with it. Backing up top, looking at the outside of 2. It's 2 wide out there and until 5th, 6th, and 7th on back. Single file from the front 5. Careful out there, you can start to see things continue to get wobbly, wiggly out there. Brian Woodard, he'll look up and around that outside. Something within these NASCAR next-gen machines is they have the independent rear suspension on there. As bumpy as Talladega Superspeedway is, you feel that veer back and behind the wheel. If you're running trucks, if you are running ARCA, O'Reilly cars, all of the above, you feel that here with definitely with you can't feel here within the cheeks, and I'm not going to say which ones because obviously there is no unless you have a whole motion rig up there with you, or a butt kicker. Butt kicker, a great way to feel the sights and sounds of the racetrack pause. But no, in all seriousness though, butt kicker, it kind of gives you a great tactic feedback out there within what the track and where the huge bumps are. You feel that here within the wheel, even if you don't have a butt kicker. The wheel kind of rips out there of your hands. The aerodynamic kind of diffuser out there from back and behind these NASCAR next gen, it makes contact with the racetrack, and it makes contact with the bump stops, and it shoots you way up that outside line. You see that with some of these teams that are a little bit more in real life, kind of lower on the tire pressures. I believe that this is fixed setup racing or dirty air racing experience, so we're not going to see not necessarily contact with the bump stops with the diffusers. We will continue to see make contact with the racetrack as this track continues to set. I'm joking, I'm talking about it. As the sun continues to set, as we might even continue to see these sparks fly at the rear ends of those carbon fiber diffusers as they strike the racing surface. Well, it's been cat and mouse. It has just been back and forth. I think if this race had a live bookie on it, it still could be anybody's ball game. Ryan Woodard back and well, really, I say back, but really up to the race lead for the first time that the 62 has seen clean air. That man, it looks like a highlighter out there, the inside line, second row back. That's going to be that Ken Dunn, number 17. Darrell Waltrip, Ford Mustang, Chevrolet Camaro. Goodness gracious. Chevrolet Camaro, Ken Dunn, he'll look low, backing around 3 cars who look single file for that 1, 2, 3. Carson Moore, maybe, possibly, will be paint scheme of the race. Carson Moore will slingshot his way. Look, he'll bring that Stephen Gill and the 12 out there with him. What a move! What's it called on Talladega nights? You got shake and bake. That's exactly what Carson Moore there just did within turn 1. We got to take a real quick race replay of this one. What a pass. What an amazing move that was for Carson Moore. Look at this. So, I mean, he's setting it up right now. Take your notes out here, because there'll be a test on this one within our final few laps to go if you're a driver out there on it, I guess. Look at him. He starts to get a run out there, he stays within the gas. He's going to slingshot his way back around the inside. Huge run of momentum. He'll work his way back around and door, quarter, and clear. Backing up top. While we were taking a look at the race replay, James Smith is in, John Miles is in, Ricky Miles, but again, contact, no! John Miles contact into pit lane. Ricky Miles is there as well. You'll see it right side of your screen. It just starts to drift out there on that John Miles machine. Unfortunately for Ricky, just wrong place, wrong time again. But hey, we have seen that wrong place, wrong time. It won't affect Ricky Miles here too terribly much, as after even that happening on stage 1, back it into virtual stage. He won stage 2, so it's going to be. Oh, it's going to be hard to catch up on. But at least we do have that final stage break of the race here in about. Let's see, in about 11 laps time from now. There goes Ricky Miles to the right side of your screen, just trying to catch up here within the pack. Let's see if Ricky Miles is able to do it. Can he work his way up and up into speed? He's already 160, 170 miles an hour. Is it enough to tag along here aerodynamically to the front pack? No. Yeah, that is a tough feeling right there for Ricky. I know that this is all it'll cycle out here to around him, not necessarily in the race lead, because he's gonna lose quite a bit of time not having any teammates or any drivers out there with him. There you see Ricky Miles work his way by. Here comes Carson Moore. Here comes Brian Bedard. Here comes Ethan George, all in pit lane. What a great race that this continues to be, and what a great race it is going to continue to kind of work its way out into become. There you see Carson Moore, though. That's kind of been my paint scheme of the race. Let us know what your paint scheme of the race is. Brian Bedard, who just led a couple laps, he's going to be able to surpass Carson Moore. They're going to both pass Ethan George right there, but this is kind of, you really just need to just kind of link back up here as fast as you possibly can. These drivers who just made this pit stop, as well as only 3 drivers at that. So the top 6, Cedric Hitt gets up until Ken Dunn. Well, now Ken Dunn is in pit lane, so this leaves the top 5 out and on the racetrack. What you're trying to do right now is just pit within a pack. I think that's the biggest thing, as well as, of course, not run out of fuel on the racetrack, but you have to pit within a pack if you want a chance to have some stage points. You have to pit within a pack if you want a chance within virtual pit lane within our next and final stage bye. Cedric Hipkins, Stephen Gill, Patrick Craven, Johnny Beach, and Alan Smith. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ken Dunn, he was running 6th. He's still in 6th as he just pits, unfortunately, single. He was the only car down in the pit lane last time by. Let's see if any of these race leaders pit this time. No, it doesn't look like so. Packed stands out here in the virtual Talladega Super Speedway for the RACECAR Engineering 285. You've tuned in live on Stan's Computer Network. It's Sean Stan producing, directing, commentating the show, doing it all in once. Up in the booth and in the production trailer, we're continuing to make things happen as these drivers work their way around this 2.5-mile speedway. Weather continues to drop as far as the ambient and track temperatures go. As it's very rare that we have ever seen tires actually matter in super speedway racing in modern NASCAR. Backing out here and into this time by for the race lead, Cedric Hipkins looks like he'll make his way downtown. Stephen Gill, you do not mean a speeding penalty here. Stephen Gill, he also was, he was smoking his way down in the pit lane, but I think that he got that thing stopped in time. Oh, almost contact there you see between Stephen Gill and Cedric Hipkins. Stephen needing to make his way back and around in front of Cedric Hipkins' machine because his pit box was a little bit earlier. You can see, invisible pit crews going to work, but you would have seen right side tires or left side tires go up and into the air, waving them like they just do care, it would have been, but you would have seen that if there was any tires taken. Patrick Craven, he's a little bit slow here on pit exit. Stephen Gill going to get back here P2 for the time being. So right now, this leaves Donnie Beach. You can see that number 1 blip just making their way across the track map in the bottom right of the track map in the top right side of your screen. And here comes the pack. My goodness, my gracious, Stephen Gill. He's not going to kill them all. And Donnie Beach, here comes Brian Woodard. Brian Woodard showing his P number 2, but working his way back into it would be the race lead. Remember, stage number 3 ends at lap number 81. That's here in about just 6 to 7 laps time. Carson Moore, even after sliding through that pit box, he's still there, hopping on board of James Jepson, just keeping it, once again, cool, keeping it calm, keeping it collected. James Jepson, he knows how to be there at the end of the race, especially at the end of these stages. James Jepson, who sits P10 within the point standings, he could use some stage points headed his way. There's James Jepson. There's that number 1 of James Smith. That's the James and James show for P4 and P5. Up there within 1, 2, and 3, though, it's 10, 14, 12 spots gains. They continue to pick them up where they put them down. Donnie Beach still 35-second gap here within the race lead. He was last on pit lane at lap 54. You got to think that he's got to come here soon, Pauls. Brian Woodard still leading this kind of main pack here, backing across this stripe. 75 here out of 108. About 6 more laps here in stage 2. Donnie Beach now pits from the race lead. Where does Donnie Beach cycle out here to? Well, he just now is making his way back and up to speed, but that's not going to be enough after he does not have any help down in pit lane. I don't know if that would have mattered if he had a car in front of him or behind him, as here comes this lead pack. So for those of you that are just now joining us, what a race it has been here so far. This is coming up here within our stage 3 break of the race in 5 laps time, or just down and around of it. Brian Woodard, he's backing up here into this race lead after leading only this stage and maybe 1 lap here. Well, it's only been 2 laps here within the whole race for Brian Woodard. Carson Moore, paint scheme of the race runner up, or could possibly be. He's also 2 laps of the race led there. James Smith, James Jepson, Ethan George, Ken Dunn, Patrick Craven, and Alan Smith about that front 1-2 packs. So it's about where we've seen this here within stage 1. We have seen it within stage 2. We're going to start to see it here within stage 3 as well. Watch this intensity start to brew up here. Carson Moore, he's starting to get a little bit just right, left, and back center on that rear bumper of Brian Woodard, backing out and up front. You can, you can tell when they start to get that wobbly wiggly, when they start to push more and more, deeper and deeper through the corner entrances, that these lap times are coming down here quick, fast, and in a hurry on these stage breaks. And well, this will be our final stage break, 5 laps here from now, and then we will have cautions for incidents. I will add though, this has been an amazing race here so far. We've only really had maybe one caution, or excuse me, one wreck that we haven't accounted. Maybe it was 2 that we haven't accounted that caution for, because yeah, once again, it's only that final stage that we will throw the yellow flag for incident. It's been an amazing super speedway night out there in the Dirty Air Racing Experience. Race Car Engineering 285 broadcasted live on Stam Studio Network, and these 2 front battles, these 2 front packs, they're starting to get a little bit closer up here with one another. Hopping on board with Patrick Craven, you can see riding off and into the distance. It's not. Oh, I didn't have the movie name on my mind. No, it's not riding the horse off and into the distance out there on your favorite old Western, but it's Ken Dunn. And he'll also just kind of tag along with Ethan George, James Jepson. If we take a look here within this gap pack here between Ken Dunn and Patrick Craven within the last 5 laps, that tends to show the little bit bigger story. And you can see lap 74, it was 5/10, a whole half second faster for Craven. But now it's Craven. He just doesn't have that. He just doesn't have, I don't think, enough cars here within this pack. That he's starting to lose here even more out there within that gap. Excuse me, keeps it same at about 1.7 this time. Working our way here within our final few laps here within stage number 3. Brian Woodard, 15 spots gained since the drop of the green flag. Does he have what they say can't be done? Winning stage 3 after last on pit lane, that's lap 69. That's tied with Carson Moore. Also, last on pit lane is, let's see, 69, 69. And then James Jepson on pit lane 67, as well as James Smith. Also a little bit differing strategy called Ken Dunn there as well. So what does this set up here? It sets up our money stop, if you will. This is going to set you up here within how much fuel you're going to have to take, if not all of it, that you're going to have to take here within that final fuel stop strategy call with what could be within our stage 3 break. Here we come, getting our way closer and closer, making our way downtown within our final stage 3 break. Whoa, James Smith starts to look low, but Brian Woodard, he's there. It's side by side coming out of 4 for stage number 3. James Jepson is all over the rear bumper there. It's going to be side by side for 3rd and 4th on back. Here comes George. Here comes that Carson Moore machine making our way through the tri-oval. It's a drag race to the stripe. James Jepson, he was there, and he'll get it back and around outside line. Drag race to the stripe. James Jepson from 3 to 4 car widths back on turns 3 and 4. He'll get stage 3 winner. What a stage, what a race, and what a win. What a stage win out there for Jepson. He needed that. My goodness, my gracious. Here's a quick race replay at it here before we get some, looking at some muddy stop action. There's the look down low for James Smith. Almost contact for the race lead. James Jepson, though, he'll just keep his foot right back there within the gas. He'll keep it planted around the outside line, and also that throttle pedal planted into the fireboard out there. Here comes this outside just kind of drag race and into the stripe, back and around the United Rentals restart zone. It's kind of like it was a side draft put down just perfectly for James Jepson. He put a parachute on that number 1 with no contact for him. Side by side coming to the stripe. That's exactly, I think, what we're going to start, what we will see. Oh man, almost wrecking here within 3 and 4. I think that's exactly what we're going to see within our final stage, or within our final, within the final stage. This time by, here we go, this time life at real life pace. Look at how just James Jepson will just say thank you very much. Even what's more interesting here is James Jepson, he didn't have He didn't have a car behind him to help him there. He just used a slingshot right there around the outside to take that stage win. Stage 3 winner is in, and he'll bring down quite a few of the pack with him. Alan Smith, Cedric Kipkins, James Jepson, Ken Dunn. Whoa, man, and Alan Smith, that has got to be speeding down pit lane, and maybe he was asking for it starting this final stage here at the rear of the pack. It'll be that number 13, though. How about you? Let's hear it for him, James Jepson. Seed 3 winner for James Jepson. Let's see if we can dial him up here on Stam Studio Network. Hey James, it's Sean Stam up here up in the booth. You got yourself a copy, man.
Yeah, how you doing tonight, Sean?
Man, James, I'm doing great out here. What a great race it's been. I'll be honest with you, I'm sweating watching you guys just putting on these battles side by side, door to door, lap after lap. How about you, James? How's that number 13 here feeling for you?
Hey, I got a good car tonight. I've got good teammates tonight. It's been a great race. I don't know what to say other than what you just said. We've had some great racing tonight, side by side with everybody out here tonight.
Man, side by side, 3 wide, maybe a little bit in 4 wide as well. James, what's going through your mind as you start to, as we're about to take the green flag out here going within the final stage of the race? Is there anything you're doing different? You're just going to keep it all the same?
I'm going to keep what I'm doing to myself. Hope I can keep doing what I'm doing tonight and walk away with a win. But if I don't, you know, I gave it everything I got tonight.
Man, well said. That number 13, man, it looks like it's been a rocket ship handling out there. Well, any final things that you'd like to maybe say to anybody out there watching for you, James?
I just want to thank all the fans out there watching on Stam Broadcast and watching our races and supporting you. I mean, hopefully you'll be talking to me at the end of the race and we'll talk more about that stuff then. I don't want to jinx myself.
James, it's been a lot of fun to watch you up here, man. I'll let you get back into it, and best luck in your final stage of the race for you.
All right, thank you.
Guys, it's great to kind of hear what the drivers are thinking out there, but before we get back there on green flag racing. James Jepson, as we take a real quick look at what the point standings were before the drop of the green flag. I mean, James, yeah, you see him up there. He's well within the top 10. I mean, although it is 10, he's still 6 points out there behind Ricky Miles. So that's, I mean, well within a race, maybe a stage break that's doable. Cedric Kipkins, Craven. You also got Donnie Beach, Dave Scott rounding out the top 5. And then up before the top 5, you got Joshua Dunn, Brian Woodard, Alan Smith, and Ethan George. It's been an amazing race so far tonight in the Dirty Air Racing Experience. We've only had those three cautions for the 3 stage breaks, but that will unlock our final stage of the race, and we will, that now does unlock cautions for incidents. But I will add, though, even though that we've seen the intensity start to add, we have seen the elbows start to fly. It has been some great ethical wheel racing. Like we were talking about there with Jepson, it's been side by side, 2 and 3, even a little bit of 4 wide. It's still just been that's been a lot of fun to watch. I wish I was out there on them with the racetrack, because man, it's putting on a show out there for us on Stam Studio Network. Well, that leaves our final stage here in the race of James Smith's hands. James Jepson is there as well. Alan Smith, Ethan George, Cedric Kipkins, and Patrick Craven rounding out that top about 6. Stephen Gill, Ken Dunn, Joshua Dunn, John Miles, Carson Moore, Brian Woodard, Ricky Miles running at the top 13. Alrighty, iRacing safety truck and into the safety of pit lane. It's the James and James show out up front. Jepson down low, Smith up top. We'll have Ethan George, Alan Smith back that second row. There's Hipkins and Craven third row back. Long race restart zone back and into the green flag we go. Only 26 laps here left tonight. The RACECAR Engineering 285 live on Stam Studio Network. Got to be careful with this fast as that number 1 was on that race restart. Look at how much of a gap that he has gained. It was 1 car length, it was 2 car lengths, but now it's going to slingshot all here up on him. If Craven really wanted to, excuse me, Jepson, if he really wanted to, he could have shot around that outside line if the 00, if Alan Smith and the 12 were there, and kind of used that outside. But now he's just going to be cool. He'll be calm and collected, something that we've continued to see. James Jepson kind of be out here with the Dirty Air Racing experience. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. He'll also he does an amazing job at holding that steering wheel pretty damn straight out there with him. He's going to continue to work that inside line on lap number 1 here within the final stage of the race. It's Smith, it's Jepson, it's George, it's Craven, it's Gill, working the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoa, hang on to her, boys. 4 wide heading into 1. We'll settle it back down and into 3. It's Alan Smith. He'll be middle of it all there. The 91, he'll start to look low. Almost a little bit contact. We'll get Archie Barge there between. I think that was Ricky Miles, the Rocket Man. He's continued to hold that wheel straight as we continue to look 3 wide on the back straightaway. These drivers know that it is go time here within this final stage of the race. Not only do they know that it is go time, but they continue to push the issues here, put the cars where the other ones aren't. That's going to be Stephen Gill fed up number 99 Ford Mustang. Way up top, he had no help. Here comes some help. It's John Miles out of nowhere. It looked like that was kind of unexpected out there for Stephen Gill, as he's just kind of looking to get around that middle and back around the inside line. Something that you also have to keep in mind out there as we go back on board with Cedric Hipkins. Bottom line of the racetrack, it might be the slower way around it, at least for the time being. We're all running single file, so it's the time. It's the way to be right now. But as this outside line here starts to form, as you get Ricky Miles and Stephen Gill up there with them, put yourself in the shoes out here for John Miles right now. Say there's a wreck up there 2 rows in front of you. It's 33 degrees banking. It's all sliding up on the outside. If there's somebody inside there of you, pause. If there's somebody running the inside line like you see out here for John Miles, you're just going to be involved up there and into the wreck. So there's really, it's going to be speed versus pace versus aggression versus maybe a little bit of attrition as well as we continue to run just side by side, inches apart at upwards of 200 miles an hour in this Talladega Super Speedway. Single file out there for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There goes back there and behind Craven. And Ken Dunn in that side-by-side starts to form. Joshua Dunn backing around the inside. Carson Moore up top. That inside lie up there for Ken Dunn. That's that kind of navy blue. Got a bit of white there on it as well. It's the yellow car numbers, 5th, 6th row back. That Ford Mustang. I'm about to start to talk about each and every single one of these drivers, and it really is. Look, as we'll start back to looking side by side for the lead, side by side for each and every position. It really is a game of just be there at the end, be there at the right time, and try to make if you could try to make a guess right now on who fits it first below victory lane. I think you have a better shot at throwing a dart at a dartboard out there at the Playful Pint Sports Bar and picking that car number, because it's still anybody's ball game here tonight. Only 21, coming to 20 laps to go. We should still have our final money stop of the race, and what we should still see being all Sunoco fuel runs. It should not be any Goodyear Racing tires put on these machines. We've only seen a couple of drivers actually put on race tires, and it was Ricky Miles who didn't want to give us his strategy. Ricky Miles was one of about the 3 to 4 drivers who did put down 4 tires on that last pit stop. John Miles was another one. We also had Joshua Dunn, and that number 91. That was about that's about 3 of 3 drivers who did make that 4 instead of 2 tire pit stop call. And here comes, well, I don't think it's 2 versus 4 tires right there, but that was all just momentum out there heading off of 2. That we almost saw actually a wreck out there with Ricky Miles. Check it out here. This is going here within turns 1 and 2. That's what I was talking about. You got to be so careful within the pushes within the corner. John Miles, though, doing an excellent job at keeping that thing careful. It was kind of Patrick Craven who had slid up out there. It looks like Ricky Miles, who had kind of had to get out there of the gas just a little bit. Didn't know if Patrick Craven didn't want to come out there up and on top of him or down to the inside. Whoa, we'll have one go around. It's Joshua Dunn. He'll go around it. I believe that's going to be it's going to be the 11 of Donnie Beach involved as well. Our first caution for incident here tonight. And even though it is for incident, I don't think that there's only but 1 or 2 cars involved. Oh, it happened up there and in front of him. So Donnie Beach, wrong place, wrong time. That'll be with that number 91 of Joshua Dunn. Joshua Dunn, he was starting to look 2. He was starting to, was 3 wide, starting to form. I don't think so. See it out there of the exit. Oh, look at this checkup here. So that starts to form around that inside. What do you do out here? Do you keep running out here within the line, or? Oh man, that's exactly how that number 91 got turned. And then of course hopping on board with Donnie Beach, he just had nowhere to go. Oh no! Tagged and bagged for Donnie. Got to remember though, a great race that this has been here so far. Lots of these drivers that are just now using their first, if not their second, out of 4 fast repairs available. It'll be Ethan George, Carson Moore, James Smith, James Jepson, Patrick Craven in the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all pitting last on lap number 81, and we are on lap. Let's see here. We're on lap 91 now, so they pit on about 10 laps ago. Let's see if any of these race leaders pit here this time, if anybody pits, I would believe so. Get me enough fuel to make my way around here. White checkered flag, and maybe put even a little bit of extra fuel in to make our way back and around that hey, green, white, checkered. You never know. I think we have 3 chances at one. Front 3 headed their way down and into virtual pit lane. For 3, 4, 5, shoot, the whole pack now headed in. You really don't hate that call. It's got to be the race-winning call. It's got to be the you better call. That's all I get. I don't know. George leads them all down there off. It should be 0 tires out here on this whole pack. And get out the bifocals, get out the magnifying glass. I got mine out here, and I don't see any tires out there on them. Once again, you'd be able to see that kind of the tires lifted up and into the air. It's side-by-side battle off of pit lane. It's led off there by Ethan George. There's Carson Moore, James Smith, James Jepson is there. There's Patrick Craven. We'll have Cedric Hipkins as well as Joshua Dunn and Stephen Gill. Already going to take my final quick break up here, up and in the booth. Don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a quick drink. Grab yourself a quick snack. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here with you to bring back here final racing action of a race car engineering 285. Alrighty, holy moly, what a race this has been. It's been a lot of fun out here tonight, the Dirty Air Racing Experience, the Race Car Engineering 285. Appreciate y'all sticking out here with us on this Friday night, spending your Friday night with me out here on Dirty Air Racing Experience. So we'll get going back to Green Flag Racing at this time and on by. Appreciate all of those sponsors and affiliates out there out as well, continuing to work their way backing up what would be the top right side of the screen. Race Car Engineering, $200 or more. That's some free shipping headed your way. That's dirt racing. That's oh goodness, that's drag racing, that's asphalt, and more all headed your way. Also, it's cool to see Race Car Engineering actually sponsoring a late model Ford Fusion number 25 out there about a couple months ago. Race Car Engineering, appreciate them, as well as Strata, that's heating, air conditioning, electric, as well as wiring houses from the ground on up. The Playful Pint Sports Bar, as well as Gill's Creative Designs. If you're looking for anything, these iRacing paint scheme designs headed your way and looking pretty dang fresh out there. How about Stephen Gill? He has had a great night here, headed his way here tonight. Stephen Gill in the number 99, I believe he is in. There's that fed up Ford Mustang. Stay Amsterdam Network Racing broadcast. Snap. Snap off instead of, oh God. Oh God, Steven, you got me choking up out here. That's pretty dang good. The Gill's Creative Designs. That's exactly what you could have headed your way. Hit them up on Facebook or Discord land. Carson Moore, he'll be shown as another one of those paint schemes, vibrant paint scheme in this United Rentals Race Restart Zone. The outside line, Ethan George, the inside line. James Jepson up top. You got that James Smith machine low, Patrick Craven low, and that Cedric Hipkins up top. Back within Green Flag Racing with what could be our final restart of the night. Back into up through the gearbox we go. Ethan George, Carson Moore. Here comes this run. What does the momentum? Who answers the call with what the man? Momentum's calling somebody. Who's it going to answer it out and up top? Ethan George, he'll answer that call, but not so fast, my friend, says that number 39 of Carson Moore. Here comes with what we've continued to see, restarts after restarts after restarts. It's been the outside line. They'll all answer that phone call, and look at who joins the outside there with them. It's Alan Smith. Alan Smith, who is up there, who started this race up and on the front row. He's now joining this battle 2 wide for 3 rows back. 15 laps here to go. Oh, contact. No, they're going to start to continue to run contact, beat and bang off of one another. There's no lift there. Stephen Gill, he'll start to work that number 99 as a lawnmower here to the tri-oval. That 99 will go around. Oh, second caution for incident, fifth for overall. Man, that Stephen Gill's machine he'll get a Sean and Taylor curse. I'll kind of take that one out there within my hands, because man, that 99, he saw that beating and banging out there and in front of him out there. Just you can't afford to lift within these kind of closing laps, I don't think. Let's hop on board with Stephen Gill. Whoa, hang on, is he still spinning? Oh, he did go for another spin. He did keep it out of the wall. Oh, we'll tow it down to the virtual pit lane. You'll see out there for him what happened backing across the stripe. And that really shows kind of the second half of that chapter there. But taking a look at the opening chapter, where there was, some pretty bad out there. Oh man, he did a great job at hanging on to that thing. He got it slideways out there, but no cars coming behind him. I didn't see too much damage. I hate that Stephen Gill had to take that. He had to take the tow and into the garage out there. Hopping on board here with him. So there comes a little beat, there comes a little bit of bang. Stephen Gill looking to make something happen out here. He's looking to get one of these spots, and they're just, oh man, it shoots him out there around the grass on the tri-oval there, sliding his way through it. Look at that, though. He shoots his steering wheel back into the right, though. Does an amazing job at not making any contact with the wall. And there's a quick race replay at what happened out there between the Ethan George machine. Side drafting out there, coming to inches, centimeters, millimeters apart. Ethan George looking on the inside. There's that 12. Yeah, just beating and banging, just a little bit of rubbing, racing up there, and there's one more look at it. Unfortunately for Stephen Gill, he will, he's going to go down at least a lap now. James Smith makes his way into pit lane. He'll bring John Miles with him, Joshua Dunn, Ken Dunn. Only about 4 drivers into pit lane. See what the doctor ordered here for John, Ken, Joshua, James, and Steven. Yeah, just quick. Oh, we do have finally some tires taken. There goes those right side tires up and into the air. It'll probably be left sides as well. Yeah, it will be. It'll be Joshua Dunn and that's number 18 of Ken Dunn. Both same strategy calls as they're making their way back here and onto the racetrack. Alrighty, we're going to go a quick through the field before we get back into green flag racing. It's Carson Moore in the body armor Flash IV Ford Mustang. Continue to lead some laps, and he's currently led only 5 laps here tonight, but sometimes that we have seen it, it's sometimes a driver who only leads that last lap of the race makes their way down in virtual victory lane. James Jepson, we had heard earlier on there on that 13 that he was pretty happy with that 13. Just needs to keep it cool, calm, collected out there and up front doing just that. Alan Smith out of Northern Mississippi, I believe that one is. Continuing to run in the P3 pole sitter tonight, Texas Pete, hot sauce. He's got the hot sauce back and behind the wheel. Downey Beach out of Clearwater, Florida. He will start this start this restart here in the 4th position. There's Patrick Craven, Clemson Tiger, number 20 Chevrolet Camaro. BuildSubmarines.com, Ford Mustang. You got Ethan George there, P6. Brian Woodard, P7. This race restart, so he'll be the inside line. We've continued to see the outside line really prevail at these drops to green. Looks like Ricky Miles will dive it back down into pit lane. I'll take that back. Pit lane closed. Ricky Miles will stay out. He'll be on the outside line. P8. John Miles back and behind him, looking to get some shaking and making happen here between the Miles boys. That'll be 8th and 9th. John Miles, P10. Ken Dunn, P11. Cedric Kipkins, Joshua Dunn back on pit lane. Stephen Gill still down in virtual pit lane. There's Cedric Kipkins at a Waterville. Appreciate it's cool to see Cedric here back in there on the racetrack. It's been about here every single race in the Dirty Air Racing experience, but I believe if my memory serves me correct, it was cool that Cedric kind of reached out there to me, asked me, hey, what kind of good leagues you got out there for me, and referenced the Dirty Air Racing experience, of course, out there for Cedric. And I think he has been happy with his home here so far. Cedric Kipkins, or not home, but at least home on Friday nights. Cedric Kipkins still continues to sit 8th within the point standings. Been about there. That's about there where he's been within the last at least race or 2. But remember, only about 6 points out there from behind Craven. He's only about 7 from behind Beach. Scott is up there up top. So continue to work our way through this season. About your 3 more races left to go in it. There's still lots of time left. There's still more than enough time left out there for Cedric to make his way here up within the battles. We've seen his speed, seen his pace. More importantly, seen that consistency out for Cedric. He got to start out here at P12 and then number 12. See if he can't work his way up here through this back. Re-up on your drinks, re-up on your snacks. It is go time in the Stam Studio Network. Race Car Engineering 285 Dirty Air Racing Experience. We're rocking with the NASCAR Next Gens at Talladega Super Speedway. Back going in green flag racing here this time by. You blink and you miss it. Time flies when you have fun. Already, and only 11 laps to go. Call it 10 this time. James Jepson, we know that how happy he has been within that Ford Mustang. He'll shoot out here to the race lead by a car length or two. But here comes P2. P3, P4, P5, and on back. It'll be side by side between row 2, 3, and 4. Who has the speed? Who has the momentum advantage? This time, will it be the bottom? Whoa, for the first time tonight, it is the bottom side. Patrick Craven, he's getting a huge run there. As here comes Jepson continuing to lead the pack, going here within the Alabama gang. Back straight away, looking down the bottom. It's starting to stagger their way back down 3 wide, heading down there within turns 3. Who's got the big ones out here? Who's got this? Can keep their foot pinned to the floor. You also got to remember that you have to keep that air temp. You got to keep that oil temp out there within your front engine as well. You can't push for 10 laps. You can't push for 5 laps. You got to be careful. You got to time these when these pushes come to shoves. These final 9 laps to go. Ricky Miles starts to get a little bit wobbly wiggly there. That'll present 3 wide out there in the back of this pack. But backing up front, it's still side by side, door to door for the race lead. James Jepson is still down low, but Patrick Craven, he has another run in that number 20, about 4th row back. Here comes Donnie Beach up top. The Chevrolet Camaro lead that outside line in that carbon fiber SMT racing machine. Donnie Beach, he has come to life, looking to drive it in the sunset down and then to the beach in only 8 laps time in our Race Car Engineering 285. 1, 2, 3 single car breakaway. Oh no! James Jepson gets turned from the race lead from that 1, 2, 3 car breakaway. I don't think we'll cue that one up as a Sean and Tater curse, but just looking back and across that tri-oval, we had mentioned that earlier within the race. The tri-oval, a very risky spot where you're trying to push, you're trying to shove, and here within kind of, I believe it's about 16 to 20 degree banking within that tri-oval stripe. Ah, man, that 13, I think he just got his left rear tagged. Tagged and bagged for James Jepson. Take a look at this race replay, see what happens. It might be from the 2nd row back or 3rd row back. See here, oh man. I don't even think that Alan Smith had anything to do there with it. I believe that Alan Smith had his nose off of that rear end. Take a look at this race replay here. Yeah, this will kind of show the big picture. No, yeah, I'm glad that we have 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 different 1,000 camera angles there at it, because yeah, it was kind of, I think that may have been a pusher pushing the pusher scenario right there, and that's where we're going to see Alan Smith if we hop on board here with that 00. It's going to be kind of right when he connects to the 39. We're going to go slow motion right here. Right when kind of the contact is made between P2 and P3, it'll kind of Newton's cradle that energy of a slingshot of energy up into the 13 there, and then there you'll see that 13 of James Jepson just get swept around and off of his feet. Oh! Heavy contact up there for James. Let's hop on board driver 13, this time out of turns 3 and 4. I mean, there's not going to be a lot to see here. It's just really the momentum that kind of changes it. Yeah, there it is at pace. I guess. Oh, we got to see who's taking what out here within pit lane. It'll be Brian Woodard. He'll make his way downtown, down and in pit lane. I think that was all right and left side tires. Unfortunately for the 60 of Nicholas Moody, I am showing a DQ flag, a black with a white cross through it, right cross through it, excuse me, an X, I guess. Not sure if that was the incident penalty level met for Nicholas Moody, but you got to, I feel for the number 60, because within that 1776 Constitution number 60, man, he was flying speed. Back up to the race lead, though. Talk about flying speed. It's all going to be the Carson Moore show. Carson Moore, how about him? Gained 14 spots at the drop, up within a race lead now. And this doesn't, again, I keep referencing, this has been an amazing race here tonight, the Dirty Air Racing Experience. I mean, Super Speedway Racing, who would have thought that it would have been this kind of action-packed? I'll be honest, Super Speedway Racing, it's not my favorite, especially back in behind the wheel on official racing weeks. I guess you could count Echo Park there as yeah, this week. I'm not touching official racing, but regardless of all that kind of out the window, though, it's been kind of what we've seen out here within Dare and all of the drivers out here on track that have made this a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to be a part of, and a lot of fun to bring you the coverage of it here live on SSN. Quick race recap. If you are just now joining in, looks like we might have Joshua Dunn head down in, not in the broadcast, but into pit lane. Also, well, let's see back here real quick. Nope, they'll fake us out. Okay, back within the camera shot that we were for our quick race recap. This is lap 102 out of 108, so we're starting to work our way within the last 4 to 5 laps to go. I do believe it is three chances of the green, white, checkered. We'll get to that if we do need to. We've had 6 cautions for 19 laps. It's only been about 2 cautions for incident. That's where I'm talking. Great racing action here from Dirty Air Racing Experience. And how about that bottom one, the right side of your screen? 32 separately changes. Are you kidding me? I mean, oh, great race here tonight. This race, of course, could not be done without each and every single one of these drivers on the racetrack, as well as you. Yes, I'm talking to you right now down in YouTube land. I would really appreciate it if you're not already subscribed, or you hit that like button. Is that what really that's what really helps me out there back and behind the scenes. So in my appreciation towards you, and also our sponsors and affiliates up there in the top right, tonight's could not be happening out there without their help as well. Ricky Miles, I know that he has done so much there back and behind the scenes to search for some sponsors, search for some affiliates to try and make this Dirty Air Racing Experience broadcasting all possible. And well, Ricky Miles, not only is that a sparkly, man, that is a bad to the bone Rocket Man paint scheme for Ricky, but also doing so much out there with Miss Lisa Miles back and behind the scenes. It does not go unnoticed. Ricky, we could be chatting out here with him within our top 3, top 5 virtual driver interviews. John Miles is there backing around that inside line for about P7. This is going to be a fun race restart. Ethan George, Joshua Dunn, he's up there. Patrick Craven, Donnie Beach is up there. And then in row number 1, you're looking right at him. Alan Smith and Carson Moore. Back and into green flag racing we go, only with about your 5 to 6 laps left within our race car engineering 285. Now you got to remember, within our photo finish that will be in about 5 laps time. This is the later start finish line than compared to Daytona and Echo Park Speedway. Back here with just only 5 laps to go, it's Carson Morris, Alan Smith, who has the jump here, who's able to work their way through their gears just a little bit better than the inside or outside line. Look at Patrick Craven, an immaculate race restart there. That Clemson Tigers machine sandwiched between Carson Moore and Ethan George. Ethan George, who has led the most amount of laps tonight, our points series leader. Ethan George looking back there, that 3rd car back around the inside. Alan Smith up top, 1st car back, 2nd car back around the outside. It'll be Donnie Beach. Still anybody's ball game going in within 3rd, 3, and 4. Corner apex here through 3, out the exit of 4. Carson Moore, he is there, but Alan Smith back and around the outside line. Look at how much more the inside here is really content and contained back and around, but here comes the number 91 for Joshua Dunn. There are so many drivers that are working their way back up here within race-winning contention. Ricky Miles follows suit in that outside line. Inside now fizzling out. Race lead belongs to Alan Smith out of 2. Alan Smith, here comes that huge run, here comes that huge shot. Whoa, we're going to start to wreck. Contact will all somehow keep it straight. What a shot out of that right rear quarter panel for Patrick Craven. Patrick Craven somehow, some way, able to swerve it left, serve it right, back into center. Really quick race replay here for Patrick Craven, as that one could have been huge on that back straightaway. Patrick Craven, he is up there and into duking it out here for this battle for the race lead. Where's the contacts come from here? It's right outside of corner exit, I do believe. Oh, Ricky Miles, he was out and around the outside, but so is the 91. Backing into live racing action with only 3 coming to 2 laps to go. Alan Smith still out to the race lead. There's Donnie Beach and Carson Moore. Carson Moore falls back into P3, but still there. Here comes Ethan George, that number 6. Down that Alabama gang back straight away. We're going to start to look side by side. Side drafting to the millimeter going within turn 3. Alan Smith, Donnie Beach, really Donnie Beach, the first times that we've seen him rocking that outside line, just wrapping that corner apron around that double yellow line. Coming to our final 5 miles left to go. 2 laps at Talladega Superspeedway. Intensity is through the roof. You can feel it through the screen right now on Stam Studio Network. Ethan George still out to the race lead, but it's not for long. Alan Smith had just lost the race lead, but he's still back around the inside line. Alan Smith back to the left rear quarter panel. Is Ethan George clear? Not just yet, now just barely. Ethan George not going to go back around the inside though. He's going to stick with his drafting buddy, Brian Bedard. Now inside line fizzles out again. A caution flag will fly. Who is involved up in it? Cedric Hipkins, he's up in it. So it's Patrick Craven. Caution flag flies right before we were going to make our way into the green. Backing into the white flag. So now we're going to re-rack them. We're going to restack them. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be our first attempt tonight at a green-white checkered. Remember, these drivers fighting out there for their right to party, also fighting for those $25 comically large checks headed their way into the victory lane within paid points Dirty Air Racing Experience Cup Series. See Patrick Craven working his way back and into virtual pit lane there. That thing is destroyed. Cedric Hipkins also right side tire forced about 45-degree angle back and around the inside. Camber caster is destroyed there. That driver out of War Dog Racing, though, he'll be able to use one of his 4 fast repairs available. He'll be backing out here within live racing action within 2 laps to go out here in the Race Car Engineering 285. Let's see what happens out here to Patrick Craven, Stephen Gill, and Cedric Hipkins. Oh, it was on the back straightaway. Man, Cedric Hipkins, he'll just wrong place, wrong time, as is Patrick Craven out there as well. Taking another look here. It's right off the extra 2. What happens? There's 3 wide starting to form, so there goes the 91 of Dunn. Dunn starts to look low, and I don't think that there was contact, but a lot more net code there. Nothing that the drivers can do. That's just iRacing being iRacing. Looks like the 91 net codes their way into the left rear of Patrick Craven, and then there's the 12 of just Cedric Hipkins. Wrong place, wrong time. Let's hop on board here with Cedric, see what he sees. Yeah, it just gets tagged. Here and off of the exit of turn number 2. I think this is going to be a little bit better view at it. Yeah, look at that number 91. And this exact moment right here. Let's see if I can't get the best. It's, call it what you will. I don't think that there's contact there. It looks to me like that is net code, but there might be just the slightest bit. Call it what you will, but that is where that starts to ensue. And also it's a net code because Craven kind of morphs into the 91. Not something that we see if there is only a little bit of it involved out there. And then the 91 gets involved. So Ethan George shown as our race leader. He's probably, I mean, he has been up here in the front for quite a few laps here tonight. It's been 26 out of the 108 laps. Ethan George P1, Brian Bedard P2, John Miles. How about you, John Miles? John, I believe he comes into this race about P11, P12 within the point standings, but John Miles, though, not only sneaking away with that Nashville Superspeedway win 1 week ago, but also now sneaky up here, up within P3. Alan Smith up now P4, Carson Moore P5. Look at all the tire rubber out there on that Ford Mustang. That gives us a little hello. Carson Moore P5. There's that Donnie Beach P6 in the number 11. James Jepson, Ken Dunn, James Smith, Ricky Miles in the top 10. Cedric Hipkins, Patrick Craven, Joshua Dunn, and unfortunately Stephen Gill still down there in virtual pit lane. Alrighty, we should get back into racing action this time and on by. And for those of you that might be a little new to maybe iRacing or just NASCAR racing in general, well, what is a green-white checkered? That's what we're about to get ourselves into here, and it kind of sounds exactly like what it is. We're going to make our way into green flag racing, so that makes one lap to go, and then if we can make our way back into the white flag lap, no matter what happens, we could have a nuke go off into the infield. We're going to make our way back into the checkered flag lap, and the winner is set there. No caution flags, but I will add, if there is a wreck before that white flag lap, back within that green flag lap, I do believe that we have 3 chances to slow them and woe them all back down. So you think that you've seen the speed, you think that you've seen intensity here so far, well, just buckle up now, because as the sun continues to set here on Talladega, the intensity continues to rise. Ethan George, Brian Woodard, Alan Smith, John Miles, 1, 2, 3, 4, Carson Moore, Donnie Beach, James Jepson, James Smith, that's the 8. Ken Dunn, Ricky Miles, Joshua Dunn, Cedric Hipkins, Patrick Craven. That'll be the top about 13. Stephen Gill, Nicholas Moody, David Moyer, and Dave Scott making his way through real life driving right now. Dave, safe travels to you. Shown within that P17 spot. He's just here to make sure that that the point standings are correct out there after this race, and I appreciate Lisa Miles for getting Dave Scott all registered there. Our 7th caution of the race. We'll re-rack him, we'll restack him. Lap 110 out of 112. Our first attempt at a green, white checkered. 7 cautions for 22 laps, but only 2 of those being for incidents. 34 separate lead changes. Get ready to go here, ladies and gents. This one's going to be good. Let us know who you got out there within YouTube land as far as strategies go, though. Oh, it's not going to show it out there within the graphics, but I will tell you, Brian Bedard, he last fit on lap 101, so he's got the freshest tires. He's got the most fuel within his tank, if that does mean anything within super speedway racing. Brian Bedard, who was once shown within 1 lap down, he's now backing around, and well, now outside line of this with what could be our final race restart. Alrighty, they're slowed, they're woed, they're side by side. It'll be 2 laps to go within the Dirty Air Racing Experience RACECAR Engineering 285. Ethan George down low, Brian Bedard up top. Here we go, 5 miles left, 2 laps to go at Talladega Superspeedway. John Miles, the Super Speedway King, he is there, winning just 1 week ago, looking to go back-to-back in the Dirty Air Racing Experience Paid Point Series. Carson Moore, he has been up here within the top 3 about all race. And look at James Jepson. James Jepson is back after getting spun. Just 1 caution to go. James, he's up there, he's backing around the outside. That Alabama gang back straight away, working our way within turns 3 and 4. If we get that white flag lap, it will be the final lap to go. Still now led by John Miles down low. John Miles are bringing James Smith. The 91 of Joshua Dunn is there as well. And up top, though, we're going to have Ethan George. We're going to have the 39 Carson Moore all over the rear bumper. Here comes that 13 of James Jepson. White flag is out. Anything goes here in the RACECAR Engineering 285. John Miles is down low here for the race lead, but Ethan George is still up top. John Miles getting a push. John Miles getting a shove. Ethan George getting a huge shove as well out of the Carson Moore machine. We're going to start to beat. We'll start to bang. We're going to start to side draft our way down the Alabama getting back straight away for the final time tonight. It'll be here within Ethan George, Carson Moore. Look at James Jepson out there wrapping around the outside line. John Miles falls back as they wreck here back and behind. Backing up and out up front, it'll be a run here to the start-finish line. Carson Moore to the race lead. Here comes John Miles backing around the outside line. Who's it gonna be? A drag race to the stripe. 3 wide to it there. Carson Moore to the lead. Carson Moore to virtual victory lane. James Smith P2 by 400ths of a second. Ethan George P3. John Miles, Alan Smith rounding out the top 5. But the man of the hour, it's paint scheme of the race as well. Carson Moore to virtual victory lane. What a race, what a win. I kept saying keep an eye on that Carson Moore machine. He had been there, done that. Super Speedway Racing King. Virtual victory lane. We'll be chatting with our top 3. We'll be chatting with our top 5 in just a few moments time. But right now it's all eyes to Carson Moore. He's gonna burn it down there for us. And crank this up here as Carson Moore is going to burn this thing down. Congratulations, Carson Moore, James Smith, Ethan George. That's the 1, 2, 3. John Miles, Alan Smith. Final turn of the race. There was the big one down the back straightaway, but we're going to keep it up here with the top 3, top 5 for now. And we'll take a look at that incident here in just a few moments' time. But here within the top 3, here within the top 5, how close was it? 400ths of a second at the stripe. Carson Moore to virtual victory lane. You're going to see that number 1, James Smith, he started to look low, but knows he can't make the pass down low. How to get kind of out there of it just a little bit, it looks like. Number 6, Ethan George out there, P3, 00. Alan Smith, P5. John Miles rounds out P4. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. We're going to chat here with our top 3, top 5, as well as look at some unofficial, official race results. Man, what a race it was. Congratulations once again, Carson Moore. That's how close it was. Here's the unofficial, official race results after they make their way across the stripe. Carson Moore just doing exactly what the doctor ordered there. Congratulations to our top 3. John Miles, Alan Smith, top 4 and 5. Jepson, Ricky Miles, Brian Willard, Patrick Craven, Donnie Beach. That'll be the top 10. Joshua Dunn, Cedric Kipkins, Ken Dunn, Stephen Gill, Nicholas Moody, David Moyer, and Dave Scott rounding out the top 17.
That far.
Hey Carson, it's Sean Stam down here live in virtual victory lane. Got yourself a copy, man.
Yes, sir.
How about you tonight? Last lap. No, I'm not even calling it last lap. That 39 came to life. You were up there here within a lot of laps here tonight, Carson. You make it all happen. What was going through your mind that last lap, and what's going through your minds now?
See that they were gonna wreck, so I was just trying to avoid that, and just trying to build up a run. And I was able to get to the inside of Ethan and just keep going, I guess. I'm happy no one really tried to turn me there at the end, and we were able to have a clean finish.
A clean, ethical wheel racing out here, but a lot of hard racing, dirty air racing experience. Carson, who you shouting out to, you dedicating this win to, man?
My family, God, the whole Dare team. I love what they do here, and shout out to you as well.
Good win, Carson. Good win, buddy.
Carson, man, that's well said. And you hear it out here live within virtual victory lane, man. That's a great win here for you. Congratulations. We'll let you get in that, popping that virtual champagne, popping the virtual fireworks, and hopefully we're chatting here with you. Hey, it's going back to back. Hey, maybe next week's time, man.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Carson, man, putting on the show out there for us tonight. I'll say all the drivers putting on the show out there, but as well, B2 just by, man, 400ths. James Smith, you got yourself a copy.
What you say, buddy?
Man, James, we just heard you. We heard you, man, shouting out there, Carson, on his race win. But man, P2 out there coming there at the final few seconds, got a millimeters there at the line, James. Hey, still an amazing race here for you tonight. You worked your way back up here into the front of this pack.
Yeah, it was a good race. I told Ricky and John and Jepson that, you know, since Ricky started this series, I ain't been in, this is the first race I've been in. So I said, you know, I'm not even into points or nothing. I'm just going to get in here and help my teammate. So I told John or Ricky or Jepson, you know, if I'm behind you, I'm just going to stick with you. I didn't think John was going to go up on me like that. If I went with John, I'd have to back off the gas a little bit, and you just can't let off the gas too much in these cars, man. You just lose, especially going down to the white flag. So it was a good race. You know, I kept my car up front all night. Towards the end, I kind of stayed in the back and worked my way back up there, but it was a good race, fun race tonight.
Golly, man, James, well said. Lots of fun out there on the track. Lots of fun out here watching you guys put it all here happen. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank out here tonight, James, in this podium position?
I'd like to thank all the drivers for coming out, Ricky Miles, Jepson, and John Miles. I want to give a big shout out to Ricky Miles and Lisa. They do a lot to this, man. I don't think Ricky gets enough credit, so I want to make sure Ricky gets credit for what he does out here for everybody. So a lot of love to Ricky, man.
Hey, well said, James. There's a lot of hard work that there goes there back and behind the scenes. I'm out there with you. I think it's definitely going a little bit unnoticed here at times, and a huge shout out there to back and behind the scenes to make it all happen and get the sponsors and affiliates out there. Well, James, congratulations out here on your P2 finish, and hopefully you make it out here on track with us next week's time, man. I believe that's going to throw that down to P3 now with Mr. Ethan George, driver number 6, leading about 30 laps here on the night. Ethan, you got yourself a copy.
Yeah, yes I do. I didn't think I played 30 laps. Jeez.
Man, it was somewhere. Yeah, wait, let me see here. Yeah, it's right there around that margin, man. Ethan, just how about you though? That number 6, just no matter what it seemed like, even after a race restart or a stage break, you just work your way back up and in here into the front of the pack. How did that number 6 feel here behind your hands tonight?
Yeah, it was great, but I mean, there's not much I could have done different to win that. I mean, other than not almost turning Carson there, I probably might have had a run there, but yeah, it was a great car that I had tonight. It was a duck. Ignore that.
No, you're hey, definitely a super speedway racing though. You kind of just you throwing the dart at the dartboard and seeing kind of where the luck comes from. So hey, also kind of saw some shaking and baking here tonight. Did you have any shaking and baking heading your way, man?
Yeah, a couple moments there in the race. I had to save the car once or twice. I was doing pretty good pushing, but I liked getting pushed better. On that last restart, man, I was kind of halfway off the gas trying to keep that inside closed off so nobody could get down there, but the energy from behind was too much for me to kind of stifle, I guess.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you put down, Ethan. Man, these NASCAR Next Gens here at Talladega, woo, sometimes a little bit of a handful there for him. But Ethan, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank here before we let you get going?
Yeah, it's just everybody who puts this on. Like I say every week, if it ain't here, I can't win it, or be third, or be second, or be fourth, or finish. I can't run it. And I want to thank them so much for putting it on. I mean, it's been so freaking fun, dude. I mean, I can't say it enough. And all my family and friends that help me out with this racing at any time, anywhere, whether in IRL or in sim.
Well, Ethan, I'll put it right there back at you. We appreciate you kind of putting on a race for us to bring to the fans out there with us every Friday night. It's a lot of fun to watch you go at it there with the paid point series and leading the point standings here into tonight. Hopefully we're chatting with you here next week's time, man.
Yeah, I hope to be winning again.
Hey, Texas will make its way around here too. Just, man, no, can't wait for that one. Ethan, that'll be at P3 finish. How about you, John Miles there at the stripe there just by, thousandths of a second. John, you got yourself a copy, man. I don't think, John. How about you, Alan? Alan Smith, P5 finish. Got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir. I had a blast tonight. That was a fun race.
There he is. Man, how about you, Alan? That top 5 finish. It was. How about you here tonight, though? I mean, up and into the business, and then you're right back, kind of mid-pack, and then right back and into the business, right back and end of it. How would you feel? Let's hear your race here tonight went here for you, Mr. Alan Smith.
It was good. We were trying some different fuel strategies and stuff like that, and we got kind of nervous because Ethan was up there trying to block all the front off and stuff, and we was afraid he was going to wreck 2 or 3 people and stuff. So we just backed out and got back toward the back and stuff, just waited till the end there. And so, but we had a good team players pushing and helping tonight. It was just, man, what a good race. Talladega usually, we usually have a lot more wrecks than that and stuff. It was a good race. I was glad to be out there and running and enjoying being up at the front a little bit too. So.
Man, I was saying on the broadcast, man, Alan, this was a great race out here tonight, especially super speedway racing. We only had I think it was 2 cautions for actual incidents. You said it's yourself there. This was a lot of great racing here at Talladega tonight, Mr. Smith. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to here tonight before we let you get going?
Absolutely. First of all, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for giving me eternal life. I'd like to thank my teammates for all the help that they gave me tonight, and my wife and my mom, my wife Terry Lynn watching, and my mom, they're watching here tonight. Thank Dare for all that they do, and the Rocket Man. I appreciate all that they do in putting this on for us. And of course, I love y'all's broadcasting. I already told you that. I really appreciate what y'all do here. And also, my major sponsor is Goat Locker Racing, and I appreciate all that Goat Locker does. So thank you. Appreciate it, man. You put the greatest broadcast on. My mom and my wife, they just love listening to you and stuff. So.
Man, Alan, it's man, when you sent me that the other day, seriously, I couldn't stop smiling for, I kid you not, man, 10, 15 minutes. It's comments like that seriously allow me to keep this going here back in behind the scene. And it's drivers like yourself that do an amazing job and allow me to bring this action out here. So, man, shout out here to you, the wife, and the mom out there for you, Alan Smith. Thank you, and congrats again on the top 5 finish, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Had a great night. See y'all.
Now, how about you, James Jepson, coming in here, P6? Got yourself a copy.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just listening to the interviews with you.
Well, I know we kind of go up here top 5, top 6 or whatever out here, but James, I'll throw you an interview headed your way. We were chatting here with you kind of within that stage break, and then, God, just unlucky business out there through the tri-oval. It was just kind of getting turned out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's racing. I mean, I got in a racing incident, before the green-white checkers tonight. I ended up in the back. Coming up 6, not happy with the way I was racing tonight because I had a car that would not stop, but I'll take 6 tonight.
Yeah, like you said here, James, you had a car that on rails here, to say the least. But backing up here into P6, and you're still up there within the point standings. Does this influence how you're going to get ready or try to race next week's race any at all, or you're just going to go right back into work?
I've been looking forward to Talladega, Michigan, and Vegas. So what I did tonight in Talladega, hopefully I can bring to Michigan and Vegas. We can only wait and see. Go 1 week at a time.
Well said there, James. Lots of similarities, but also kind of differences up there with them. It'll be a fun one to watch out here, James. Who you thinking? Who you shouting out here tonight within a top 6 finish?
I want to shout out to all my Dare buddies, all the racers out here tonight. Ricky, John Miles and I running this tonight because we missed Dave. Sorry we missed Dave tonight. But overall, everybody raced tonight. We had one heck of a race, 2 cautions just at the end, which is expected because everybody wants to win. We couldn't ask for a better race, and I think this is the best one we've had in this 8-race series so far.
Man, well said up there, James. And that's saying something, too, even being super speedway racing. I'm going to back you up there with it. I mean, goodness, 2 cautions for an incident. Like you said, it's kind of when everybody's going for it all. Well, James, we really appreciate you. Got to sneak it out here with us for a final top 6 driver interview position, and hopefully you're chatting with you next week's time, man.
I hope so, and I want to thank all the sponsors that are sponsoring this event. Ricky's got some good sponsors, and we'll see you next week.
James, see you next week, man, and hopefully hearing from you next week and throwing it right back and into Ricky as we just heard about him. Ricky Miles, you got yourself a copy within your B7.
Yes, sir, buddy. How you doing, my man?
Ricky, I'm still wiping the sweat off my forehead. How about you here tonight, that Rocket Man number 5 Chevrolet Camaro?
Yeah, it was some good racing, man. I'm congratulations to Carson. It's great to see James Smith with us tonight. You know, he's always excited when he comes into the race. You know, and does a good job. Ethan, John, Alan, James, everybody, Brian Wood, everybody who's been racing with us. We appreciate every one of them guys. They're good, hard racers. We just had a couple accidents going into pits for myself, you know, and but that's just hard racing and kind of just hanging in there, and the high side really didn't work too good at the end of the race for me, so I had to try to find my way to get to the bottom. But there's a lot of tough competition here, so when you start outrunning these guys, you know, I'm probably the oldest man in the group, so they make me work hard for it, you know, and I'll maybe get one sooner or later.
There, Ricky, it's a lot of fun to watch you out here Friday nights after Friday nights. And as you heard earlier, and right back here to you, man, thank you so much for you and everything that you and Lisa do here for us back in and behind the scenes. Is there anybody, real quick, before we let you get going, who you'd like to thank or shout out here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. You know, we're thrilled to have them all join us. We have like Dare. Also, we have the Playful Pint, Strata Electric, RACECAR Engineering, all them guys, you know, they've been a lot of help to all these racers all over the world. They help a lot of people, and they come on board and help us a lot, so we appreciate it. Appreciate all the drivers. Sorry Dave missed tonight. He missed a good race. He'll be back, I'm hoping, by next week, but give a shout out to everybody for coming, and it was some good racing, and we appreciate everybody.
Ricky, appreciate you, man. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night, and hopefully we're chatting here with you next Friday's time, man.
Well, we appreciate you. What a wonderful job you do, buddy.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Going a long ways there back in behind the scenes. I believe that's going to do it out here for tonight for us on STAM Studio Network. One final look at our unofficial official race results is congratulations, Carson Moore again taking the race win there by 0.04 of a second. James Smith, Ethan George, John Miles, Alan Smith, that's the top 5. James Jepson, Ricky Miles, Brian Woodard, Patrick Craven, Donnie Beach, that's the top 10. Then Dunn, Hitchens, Gill, Moyer, Moody, and Scott. That'll be our top 17. Appreciate you all so much from the bottom of my heart joining in this Friday night, and stick with us and around here next Friday night for some more Dirty Air Racing experience. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.
We'll see you, buddy. Good race tonight, everybody. Good race tonight.
Hey, great racing. Appreciate you guys.